Guilty of crime.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. What's up? I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back. Hopefully, we go strong today. Listen, guys, Tepe murders are going to be explained. Autopsy findings are going to be explained. I have the autopsy, the toxicology report, and even I've got every report you could think of, right? But the most important are the toxicology and the autopsy that we're going to go over, affidavit details. And guys, I got to tell you, after having a rough, this is going to be, come on in, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. By the time we get through the autopsy findings and the affidavit reports, trust me, you're going to want to talk about Dr. McKee's prison future experience and who's got a target on his back. So I ask you, who has a target on his back? And why would they, for such a nice guy, right? We're going to talk about all of it, but trust me, you'll want that Dr. McKee's prison future of getting beat up and bent over after you hear how he targeted Monique and Spencer Tepe. Now he's going to be the target in jail and then in prison. So hit that like button, guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Get a membership if you can. Please say thank you to Cool and Chris if you received that membership. I'm going to drop this down a little bit. I feel like my we're at 1080, but I feel like it's skipping or something. All right, well, hopefully not. You guys let me know if something's wrong with my recording. And thank you, Cool and Chris. I also want to say, what's up, Felicia? How you doing? And I hope I never have to say, bye, Felicia. Bye. Welcome to the crime crew, my friend. Pearl Maury, how you doing? Kathy, my girl. Of course, Lucy Ann, good to see you. And guys, Mama Pearl's in the house, and Mama Pearl has got a wrench. All right, Mama Pearl does not play around. She is now the latest mod in the Guilty of Crime crew. Now, she's probably not going to block people or do any of that, but if she doesn't like what somebody's saying about me or whatever, she now has the capability to do so. All right, so Mama Pearl's got a wrench. I'm going to get her a membership as soon as I get a hold of her phone. But welcome, Mama Pearl, to the Crime Crew mod family. Hi, Mom. Love you. I'm Holly. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Clar, big hugs to you. Sandwich, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. This is what we're talking about today. Now, listen, guys, we have to talk about it. We know it's not a murder mystery anymore, but we need justice for Spencer and Monique Tepe. And I need you guys to see what I'm seeing. I need you to see the documents and see the way that this monster, all right, Michael McKee, stalked his victims. They were like prey to him. It was absolutely premeditated, planned, anything that you can think of. He was a stalker. And when he gets to jail and he gets to prison, he's going to be the target. So karma is a bitch. You should never do that. Any other mods in the house? I got Mama Pearl. I got Holly. I know a couple of my mods said they might not be here or they'll be late. Tiff, if you're here, what's up? Synth, if you're here, Carly and Foxy. I'll see y'all in a bit. Flojo TV, what's up, my guy? He just gifted 5 memberships to you guys. Go over and make sure you're subscribed to his channel. All right. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Quite a stalker story. You got that right. So we want justice for Spencer Monique Tepe. And I mean, in my opinion, the only way that's going to happen is if we expose who he is and show the evidence for what it is. All right. So let's do that. Let me open. So I actually have Monique Tepe's autopsy report. I had it up, and then I have the coroner's report and the lab results, as well as Spencer's autopsy, Spencer's lab, and the coroner results. Guys, I'm telling you, you guys will be ready to see and talk about this monster, Dr. McKee, getting his ass kicked after you see the amount of damage that was done to Monique particularly. And the reason I say that is because in the beginning when we started this case, guys, I told you, based on what we knew, I told you that the target had to have been Michael McKee. There's no way. Law enforcement told us, you guys know it. Law enforcement told us plain out that we didn't know who did it yet, but they told us that Spencer was shot multiple times in the chest and that Monique was only shot once, possibly in the chest area. Completely different. Guys, it's a stark night and day difference, and it makes me wonder for the other cases that we're covering if they're doing that on purpose to not tip the person off, okay? So when law enforcement tells you in the Guthrie case, in the Nancy Guthrie case, they come on and they say, what I'm not going to say is there's smashed cameras. What I'm not going to say, but what they don't say is many of the details. All right. And in this case, they absolutely threw us all for a loop. This is not how any of that went down. We're going to go into all of it. First, we're going to start with the affidavit details so you know what he actually did. Then I'll go to the autopsy, and then we're going to see his prison future. He's going to be a bitch. All right, so let's get going. Synth, good to see you. Krista, thank you yesterday for the Cash App at the end of the show. And Ali Callie, good to see you. Lucy Ann, I see the mods trickling in. All right, this monster is going to have some black eyes like he does on the front. Let me do this, though. I've got different video of him being booked. One courtesy of Plunder, and then I have a even better one from the news station. So I'm going to play this. There's no audio to it. I'm going to play this while I read you the findings and the unsealed affidavit of what the hell happened. All right, so let's put that on. You can see him here. There's no sound. So there's 2 different videos. You're going to watch his cocky, egotistical ass walk his ass in there. And then when we get to the next video, we're going to see a different view from above. I assure you, this guy's an ego monster. He's a stalker. He's a predator. He's an abuser. And that's what's going to happen to him. So let's get into it. Let's go. Get your popcorn, get your blanket, get your drinks. Because buckle up. We're going to be here for as long as it takes me to get through all these things. Welcome, guys. And I hope everyone's doing okay today. If any of you guys have a birthday, let us know in chat. The goal's up there. If you're going to CrimeCon 2026, I want to know. Let's go. All right, remember, I'm going to just point this out where he's coming from. You can watch this video while I read you what the unsealed affidavit really says versus what we heard in the very beginning which was way off. Okay. I was off. I was way off. Many of us were. Indiisha, my girl, huge hug. You better be going to Vegas, girl. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. And Cool and Chris, member for a month. Thank you for the $4.20 for her, bro. Well, listen, thank you. I appreciate that. We got plenty of $4.20 products from Goat Genetics. If anyone needs that link, let me know. All right. So we're doing big things around here, guys, and we can only do it with you. Patricia, my girl, I saw you coming in. Who? CrimeCon in Vegas. Patricia's throwing us a party, and we are very excited to oblige your invitation. I'll start putting it out there once we get closer. But guys, I'm so excited to meet so many of you. And Mrs. Guilty is ready to drive me to Vegas. I said, hey, if you're not going to drive me to Vegas, I'm hopping on a plane and I'm going with my girls. I'll find a couch or a bed. And she's like, nope, we're going to a party for CrimeCon Vegas 2026. All right, we're going to have fun and everybody's invited. Unless you don't like me, then please don't come. Wish I could, but that's dropping a K I don't have. Well, cheeky, you never know what's going to happen between now and then. So, yeah, my family is very cute. Thank you, Allie Callie. Not only is my family cute, but they're just amazing people. When it push comes to shove, we have each other's back 110%. I assure you. All right, let's get into it, guys. It does sound amazing, right? All right, so let me just play this and I'll show you. Look it over here. That is Michael McKee. You're going to see him walk through, and this is the raw video of Michael McKee's slide off being booked, and then I'll continue it when I show you the first news slide. You'll actually see a different version, a crazy different version of the booking. It's really weird. Where is it? We got the autopsy. Oh yeah, this watch a surgeon accused of killing his ex-wife and dentist husband appears unfazed during jail booking. That's what we're going to start with. Okay. So there's no sound. Nothing's wrong. It's just the raw footage while I read to you what happened. Okay. You see that? There he is. There. I'm just going to bring it down to, I'm going to slow it down a little just so you guys can see him and whatever. All right. Slow it down just a tad. There it is. There he comes with his hands in his pocket, kind of smirking, people looking around. We're going to watch this while I read, and then I'll show you a different view from above. All right, let's go. Come on in, guys. Hit that like button. Now, surgeon Dr. McKee is accused of killing his ex and her dentist husband. He appears unfazed during this video and the next one I'm going to show you. Now, Michael McKee is accused of gunning down ex-wife Monique Tepe and her dentist husband Spencer in their Columbus home. All right. And the details are just getting so gruesome by the day. So we're going to watch this footage and then the next. Let me make sure this is playing for you. Cool and Chris, good to see you. You're doing great, Jay Mods. I love you guys. And if I miss something, I will come back to you. I promise. Thank you, Cool and Chris, for the $2 and the Guilty of Crime membership. Cool and Chris did 2 of those. I appreciate you guys. All right. So let's get into it. I'm just playing this as we talk about what actually really happened in the case that we know thus far. That's completely way off, by the way. All right. So this footage and the footage I'm going to show you in a minute was him being unfazed, calmly being booked into jail. All right. This footage shows 39-year-old Michael McKee as he's being booked into Franklin County Correction Center shortly after 4 p.m. on January 20th, following his arrest from Illinois and extradited back to Ohio. Now, McKee can be seen wearing a light blue zip-up jacket and dark blue pants as he calmly walks through the booking area while seemingly handcuffed, all right? So we're just watching that for right now. Smoking, thank you so much. 1 second. All right, Smoking, my guy. Thank you for the Guilty of Crime membership. Sorry about that. Baby Guilty said, I need paper and I need it now. Mama Pearl, Reese needs, Baby Guilty needs paper. If you have any extra, she stole all of mine. I don't know why my hair keeps fading out like that. It's weird, this camera right now. Okay. All right, keep watching. Sorry about that. All right. There we go. We can see, you guys can see it. We're not even done with it yet. I'm going to come back around. Don't worry. I know I got interrupted right in the beginning, but you know how we do over here. All right. So where did that go now? Okay, so the right here. Sorry about that. I got thrown off. All right, 39 years old, 4 p.m. You see him coolly, calmly wearing that blue zip up jackets, dark pants, while seemingly handcuffed. All right, that we seen his booking photo at the beginning. He is then he's subjected to be a pat down search before changing into jail issued slides. Now, McKee then walks back through the booking area wearing a blue t-shirt and red shorts, looking unfazed as he's been taken into custody. McKee is accused of gunning down ex-wife and her husband on December 30th in Ohio between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. He was arrested in Rockford, Illinois on January 10th, and then they took him into Winnebago jail and extradited him back to Columbus, Ohio, where he now has a target on his back. And when he gets into prison, I hear from the word around town that they're also going to give that he also has a target on his back then. All right, so let's keep going. We're just watching this while I'm continuing to tell you what in the hell's going on, and then I'm going to show you the other video. All right, so we're going to see video obtained, different one. Now, in the arraignment, he pled not guilty to the 4 charges of premeditated aggravated murder with a firearm specification and aggravated burglary. Now, 3 aggravated murder charges include specifications alleging that McKee used or displayed an automatic firearm or silencer. That's the 4th. Okay. The 4th alleged that a gun was displayed or branded. So he's getting all kinds of charges. The charging documents reveal that investigators were able to identify him as a suspect by linking his vehicle in the neighborhood and then driving back to his hometown in Rockford, Illinois. All right. So we're going to hop on this so we can see the other video. I think this one's done. You see him walking away, but we didn't get to see what was happening in that room. And now we're going to. All right. So we're going to stop sharing this one and I'm going to bring you this. All right. So we're going to continue. Like I said, we've got affidavits, autopsies, and this doctor's future. All right. Let's watch him on another view being calmly booked into jail and wondering, is he going to be that calm when he's being someone's bitch? Because he's going to be somebody's bitch. Abso-freaking-lutely. All right. I don't even know if this doesn't have sound either, but let's watch it together. Let me start over. So you guys saw him in the room earlier and he's in the room, but it's a different view. So we're going to watch this together and then we're going to get on to the unsealed affidavit and the freaking autopsy results. And then we're going to actually look at the autopsies, toxicology, and the ex-prison folks that say this guy in this booking video is cocky AF. And they say when he goes into jail or prison, he is absolutely already got a target on his back. Tiff Knox, good to see you. Mama Sage. All right. MM Clary said, hello. Jen's a gypsy. All right. Just watch his actions. I mean, he's very nonchalant about stuff. They tell him, open your mouth. He does that, takes his socks off. And he's got that same nasty walk. He's got that same nasty, ugly walk that we saw him in that video. All right. And if I miss somebody, I'm sorry. Smoking, you guys drop his link if you could. And also thank him for the gifted membership. If you would. Did you see him whole at the moon? What? Yes, he is garbage, but he's a predator. He is a predator. Kathy says, welcome party for when he gets to jail. Oh, and after I go over the affidavit and how he disfigured Monique, I would have known that she was the target if we would have known that he disfigured her. There's his full moon. He bends over. But listen up, guy. You're going to bend over right there. There's your pose, buddy. There it is right there. There's his pose. Get used to it, pal. Right there. There's his pose right there. Bend over, mofo, because they're coming for you. Stupid monster mother trucker leaving the kids to fend for themselves without parents. Now, the children are with the family and they're safe. Foxy, thank you for the 420 membership. Look at him opening his mouth, being smug. I got it. Yeah, guys. He's not going to have those glasses for long. He shows zero remorse. And that's another reason why there's a target on his back from several people. Again, I've got the volume all the way up. There is no volume, but I just wanted you to see him bending over because that's going to be a position that he's going to be in very often. He's either going to be bending over or he's going to be on his knees. And just wait, you'll see what I'm saying. Oh boy, I wish they would give him the death penalty. Yeah, this mother trucker, man. We can't even stand this mother trucker. When you see what they did, what he did to his ex-wife's body and how he stalked them for weeks. And guys, he was doing this for years. He kept looking at her and looking at her, but it came to a certain point where he snapped, and it was more than snapping because it took him 7 hours to get there. He had plenty of time to think and then rethink. Look at his chanclas. Hey, buddy, I bet your chanclas aren't going to be that nice. They're probably going to have a piece of duct tape on the flap there, and maybe you'll get some bottom soles if you're lucky. All right, so calmly do your thing, you piece of trash. Oh, another bend over moment. Be ready because that's going to happen a lot for him. All right, he's going to be bent over, and we're going to see it. All right, so we went through that. There's his book.
The sheriff in Pima County, Arizona, says there are no.
There's the booking. Make sure you guys can still see me. I got you guys chuckling just a little bit. I froze. I'm not froze anymore, I hope. Maybe he's looking forward to that weirdo freak. Well, maybe. All right, booking photo. That was him as he was being booked and charged. All right. He did the pat down. We saw that. There he is. He's almost got a smile on his face. If you see him walking through this door, he's got like a I keep freezing, you're saying? I don't know what I can do, my friends. I can bring this down. I can. Let me see. Yeah, StreamYard has been just crazy. I can't I can't do anything. I could drop this down. Maybe I'll stop freezing. Hold on. All right, here we go. Maybe I won't freeze now. I hear you, but her lips weren't moving. We're good now. All right, then we're good. Remember at the beginning, I told you, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I don't even know why. I just got that in my song, in my head. Okay, we're good now. All right, we're good to go, everybody? Yes? All right, we're going to see him bent over quite a bit. So he's smug with his chanclas. A video obtained by Fox. The other video came from Plunder's clip channel. All right, in the arraignment, he pled not guilty. Charging documents we talked about. He's charged with everything they possibly can. Okay. And may these folks, the Tepes, rest in peace, knowing that they found each other, the love of their lives. They were coming up on their 5-year anniversary. They did everything right, but he was already stalking them and they didn't realize that. All right. So the bodies of Monique and Spencer were discovered on Friday. The person that stopped by. We remember there's a body. The caller can be heard telling 911 our friend's not answering. And we're still not sure what happened because he says we came here and he appears dead. He's lying next to the bed, but law enforcement tells us they both were, and Monique was shot and disfigured in the face. So I'm not really sure what lack of information or why they're not giving us, but we'll find out. All right, we know the kids are 1 and 4 are still alive, and those are also victims. Now, They were prepared to celebrate their 5-year wedding anniversary and were fatally shot inside their home. And I got to tell you guys, I believe with all my heart that that was a contributing factor to why he decided to do it then. All right, let's go into the autopsy report details. Please, guys, trigger warning. This is harsh.
The shooting deaths of Wineland Park couple Spencer and Monique Tepe in December grabbed attention all across the country.
Today, the reports obtained by NBC4 revealing new details on the killings of the Wineland Park couple. Monique Tepe's ex-husband, Michael McKee, was arrested in Illinois 11 days after the Tepes were found dead. He's been charged with their murders and is awaiting his next court appearance. With that, we thank you for joining us today. For NBC4 at 5, I'm Jared Smalley.
And for Bullock, NBC4's crime and safety reporter Anna Hoffman has been combing through the reports. She joins us now with what she has learned. Anna?
And again, guys, there's so many documents to go through. So I'm just giving you guys, for those that are like me with ADHD, ADD, and you can't sit still too long, I'm giving you the 1,000-foot view, and then we'll look in the documents. Now, the unsealed probable cause affidavit is really what I want to talk about on top of the autopsy report, because it just became publicly available through the outlets and media. It confirms the details in which weeks before Michael Tepe was stalking them, threatening them, and he went into their house prior unlawfully and was supposed to be there for maybe a couple of hours. And that was prior to him killing them. All right. So in the affidavit, I mean, the key things are the stalking them weeks before the murders. They caught him on footage on December 6th, guys, nearly a month before the couple was found dead. He was over there. Michael McKee was already there on December 6th. Okay. And he shot them on December 30th. Now, they're also in the affidavit that was unsealed. It's going to talk about the history of threats and abuse, all the friends knew about. And then, of course, in the affidavit, they talk about his unlawfully entering or lurking the Tepe home before the murders, which is consistent with the surveillance. Also, his phone was left at work to avoid tracking. I don't know if you guys knew that. We talked about tracking and how they would ping him and all that. Well, guess what? They didn't, because Michael McKee left his phone at work before he killed them, which investigators interpret as attempting to avoid the digital tracking, which is always dumb, because law enforcement will look at the patterns and they'll say, that's not your pattern. Why is your phone off and not used for 8 hours? But your vehicle says okay. And then the vehicle surveillance. So the unsealed affidavits are absolutely talking about the details that we didn't know. Now to the autopsy.
Jen and Jared, the reports say the couple was shot more than a dozen times combined. It says they likely died within minutes or even seconds. For the first time, we're getting a glimpse into just how gruesome the injuries were in the killings of Spencer and Monique Tepe. The autopsy reports from the Franklin County Coroner's Office say the couple was shot a combined 16 times. Monique was shot 9 times in the head, in the face, chest, and arms.
Guys, if we would have heard that in the beginning, would you have automatically said Monique Tepe has to have either a boyfriend, a lover, or an ex? Her face was disfigured, and I'll read that in the documents. We had none of it. 16 times. Now listen, in California, you're only allowed to have a magazine that holds 10. I don't know how it is in Ohio, but it's 16 times, unless he had an extra large magazine, which you can purchase. You can purchase a magazine that holds 20, what have you. It's an extended one, and I think he was using a 9mm Sig Sauer. Okay, 16 times means that he would have to load it and unload it. All right, I don't know if I could do anything, guys, if it's still freezing. Sorry. You guys can't hear me, or what happened? All right, let's keep going.
Spencer was shot 7 times in the head, neck, and chest. It describes the pathways of each bullet and how it impacts their bodies. The report does not give an estimated time the couple was killed, but it does say they were likely killed in seconds to minutes. Columbus police investigations have narrowed down the murders to have happened between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. December 30th. Michael McKee, Monique's ex-husband, was arrested several days after the murders in Rockford, Illinois. Police believe this is McKee walking in the Wineland Park neighborhood around the time of the murders in this person of interest video released days after it happened.
I mean, they knew once law enforcement were able to obtain the video footage, they knew that he had been there before as well. They have so many things. Thank you, Synth. I appreciate you, girl. Kelly, what's up? All right. And I'm a gun person. I am a collector, a shooter, and I'm all about defense. 15-round mag. Well, if it's a 15-round mag and he shot 16 times, does that mean he had to reload? That's what I'm going to say. All right. Yeah, of course it's dirt under the bridge, but nobody knew that, right? Cheeky says it's no big deal. Screen freezes, but video plays. All right. Thank you. It's just got to be the StreamYard is making a lot of changes. Thank you.
McKee is charged with 4 counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of aggravated burglary. Each charge also has a firearm specification for allegedly using a firearm silencer during the crime. McKee pleaded not guilty to the charges. He is being held in the Franklin County Jail with no bond and does not have another court date scheduled at this time. I've reached out to the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office for a comment on the report. They say they do not comment on active cases. I also reached out to McKee's defense attorney.
Oh, and even on active cases, they give us the wrong information. Okay, my face freezes for a couple seconds. Yeah, something's up with that right now. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how else to fix any of this. I cannot change the resolution. I can't change anything right now. I'm on the next go. I don't have any other cameras. If it's that bad, let me know. I might have to change my camera or something, guys. I know the weather's messed up. Yeah, 15 plus 1 is 16. That means he would have to have put another round. All right, I'm going to put my phone up. Mods are supposed to tell me this. Foxy says, yes, I'm frozen. Carly says a little bit choppy when you play clips, but you guys can hear me. And then, all right, so I'm going to keep my phone if something happens. Sorry. This sucks.
Diane Menashe for a comment. She says she does not comment on pending cases. The report also officially names the manner of death as homicide caused by gunshot wounds. Jen, Jared.
Thanks for watching. For more NBC.
All right, thank you guys. It's not just me. We're having good weather here as well, so that's interesting. All right, I bet you guys never thought in a million years that would be what happened. I know I didn't. I'm sure the first time you guys heard about that, you had to have been surprised, right? Because I reported I've had 5 episodes on here now, and for all 5 episodes, guys, you know what I've reported to you? That Spencer was the target and he was shot several times, where Monique was only shot once, but that's not it. Okay. All right, we're going to keep going. I'm doing the best I can. Mods, if you need to let me know something, please text me. Mab, come on in, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. Maybe you need an update. Yeah, I can't update right now, though, so when I get off, I'll update. All right, guys? If it's that bad, you guys want me to stop? I can't tell. Just let me know, okay? Mods. Okay. All right. I'm doing my best here, guys. I think it's YouTube and StreamYard. All right. So let's take a look quickly at the autopsies. All right. Let me get back on here. I don't like when that freezes like that. That bothers the crap out of me. All right, I'm going. I'm good. Keep going. Freezing in Michigan. Mo, you made it. Come on in, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Get a membership if you can. Let's go, because we got to talk about this guy having a target on his back, and we haven't got there yet. But yes, you know why Diane is, not only is she a good attorney, she's a bulldog, she also is death penalty qualified, which makes a huge difference. Thank you. I'll take Max Headroom. That guy does look like Max Headroom, right? Well, he has somebody good on his side. Anyway, all right, let me how am I gonna do this? Let's try this. Let's make sure I get it the right way. Okay, so look, I've got Monique Tepe's autopsy. And let me make sure you guys can see this real quick. Hold on. You can. Okay, so I've got all the autopsy reports there. And let's go over some things, all right? Again, trigger warning. That is Monique Tepe's autopsy. There's Spencer Tepe's autopsy. Monique's coroner report. Spencer's coroner report. The lab toxicology. You guys want to know this? And the toxicology for Spencer. Y'all want to know this. I always want to know. All right, so let's get through that. And then we're going to get to everything else, and the target that this monster put on the Tepe's back is coming right back for him. Come on in, guys. Good to have you. I hope it's doing good. Yes, Mama Pearl is a mod, and she's not going to time you out, Mab. Don't worry. All right, let's take a look at these documents real quick. Mod Squad says, and it's 1 meg, 15 in it, and I guess, yeah, 15 in it and 1 in the chamber. Yeah, that makes sense. True that. I don't even get 15 round mags, so who knows? But thanks for clarifying that, Foxy. All right, let's go back to the real quick, the autopsy, guys. Monique Tepe is clearly the person that was targeted in this case, all right? So they're putting her time of death as 10/11. On 12/31/2025, they examined her at 8:52, Franklin, Ohio, by pathologist Erica, MD. I'm not going to read all that. I just want you guys to see what he did to her, what he did to her face. If we had known this from the beginning, we would have known who did what. Yeah, you guys are all at the doctors today. What's up, Rebecca? Good to see you, my friend. Deb, I hope you're doing well. Yes, Mama Pearl is in the house, and she's a mod. She's got herself a wrench, all right? And if you're mean to me, she'll pull the wrench out, all right, and smack you over the head with the wrench. But I think we'll be good today. Yesterday was insane. You guys, we had 4,500 people in chat yesterday at the peak. And guys, that video that we did yesterday has 110,000 views. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? I'm talking to how many people? What? I don't even know what happened yesterday. It was wild. But I did get like another 1,000 subscribers, like overnight. So there you go. Crazy, crazy day. You watched it? Awesome. Yeah, that was a lot. Even in the Madeline Soto days, I've never had 4,500 people in my chat, right? And I'm still getting over a cold, so whatever, but it was crazy. All right, let's go over these autopsies, and then I'm going, yes, this is, yes, Illinois, and then Ohio, all right? Sick bastard. All right, let's go over the autopsy so you can hear what he did to his ex-wife. Oh, Heather, thank you. I'm glad you got to watch that. Yeah, Cheeky, it was crazy. Right, Krista? That was wild, man. Little old me. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to leave that up there, Elena. He left his phone, but stopped for gas on the way to Ohio and put mileage on the car, but then he bought food. What's up with him, man? Seriously. Daisy Duck, good to see you. I hope you're doing better today. You're in Ohio. All right. Heather, what's up? What's up, girl? Thank you. Support with Steffa. It's nice to have light chats where I could be personal with you guys. It doesn't always freeze. I think it's just today, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a big day for Guilty of Crime yesterday. What's up, Tina? All right. Let me get into the autopsies. Okay, so what he did to her, guys, the cause of death for Monique Tepe, she had gunshot wounds to the head. They say the head, the trunk, and extremities with visceral, skeletal, and soft tissue injuries by homicide, right? And what does that mean, Jay? Well, gunshot wounds 9 of them to be exact, of the head, of the trunk, and extremities, which we just saw. Now, the perforating wounds, right? Perforating wounds, indeterminate range. So we don't know if I really did want to know if it was point blank, from across, how many feet, but it doesn't say. I want to know if it was execution style, but it doesn't say. But what it does say is that I think that she tried to fight back and hold her hand up because her right hand got shot through, right? Right of the zygomatic region, 1, 3 in the chest, 1 in the lateral right trunk, and then right forearm, 1, and then 1 in the right hand and left humeral region. Do you see what he did? Do you hear that? All right, visceral injuries, right and left lungs, and right and left cardiac ventricles. Damn, dude, he messed her up. Skeletal injuries, right zygomatic fracture, maxillary perforation, rib perforation and fracture, and commuted left humerus fracture. Perforating and penetrating injuries associated with gunshot wounds of the left upper extremity. He messed her up, guys. Visceral pallor, I don't even know what that means. Recovery of bullets, they got 2 of them, and bullet fragments, left humerus fracture site. Abrasions, chest and left forearm with elbow. Contusions on her left calf. And then the toxicology findings are consistent, guys. I hate to tell you, her toxicology, I'll show you, is consistent with the medication that she was prescribed. So we'll see the toxicology. Guys, he messed her up. We're going to go over Spencer's as well. And then we're going to talk about what's going to happen to this creep mother trucker in jail and then prison. Because, guys, he's going to drag this out. And when you drag this out, you got to wait in jail until you're transferred to prison, which in my opinion is a lot different beast. But you also get more amenities. So he's going to be better off. Well, he's going to be a better bitch when he gets to prison, all right? Maybe they'll buy him some coffee or something. All right, guys. So listen, her body was viewed. Again, we totally thought that it was Spencer. In fact, it was Monique that had the most damage. In her toxicology, she did have hydroxine, and then hydroxine metabolite, cetrazine, doxylamine, amphetamine, and fluoxetine. All right, it looks like, it sounds like to me what she was prescribing: ADHD pills, sleeping pills, Prozac. I see some names in there. You guys can drop it in chat if you know as well. All right, now listen. The body's viewed initially clothed, as photographs depict, which we're not showing you, in a long sleeve shirt, short sleeve shirt, brassiere, with apparent blood staining and multiple defects noted. Underwear and socks. She had body jewelry, inclusive of yellow metal earrings, a yellow metal ring on her left fourth finger, and a yellow metal necklace with 2 metal pendants. They're also photographically documented. If I ever get those, I will look at them. The clothing and jewelry were removed, collected, and processed to establish protocol. Upon removal of clothing, guys, 2 bullets are dislodged and photographically documented, where they came to rest on the autopsy floor along the left side of the autopsy table upon the decedent lays. Now, the extra corporal bullets are collected, photograph packaged, labeled, and sealed. The body is of a well-developed, well-nourished female whose appearance is compatible with the reported age and race, body weight 151 pounds, and 69 inches in length. The body's cold to touch. There's firm rigor on the facial muscle and extremities. Now, the lividity is posterior and blanches easily. Identifying tags, bracelets, or labels, and checked and correct. Now, identification's confirmed via comparison to her government ID. The hands are then bagged and further processed. Guys, if you're not already pissed off, I don't know what will piss you off. I don't know what's up with YouTube. It's been doing that. I'm not even playing videos. Jay, can you read mods, please? Wait, Jay, can you read mods? Wait, what? What do you mean, cheeky? Mods aren't telling me anything. The mods are right here. You said, yeah. What do you mean? I don't know what that means, guys. Huh. Yeah, I can't do anything if I'm frozen. I'm not really sure what you guys want me to do. Is it that bad? Okay, well, I'm gonna keep going. Those are her medications. The video's freezing. It's probably StreamYard and YouTube, but I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. Jay, medication lost. I'm gonna get to that. I haven't got to that yet, cheeky. Oh, you wanted me to read it again. We're gonna get to that. Okay. Meds. Okay. All right, I can't tell, guys. Jay, you're good. I can still hear. Okay, we didn't even go over the toxicology. I was gonna give you that. No, my internet is I've got the fastest internet you can possibly have. I don't think it's me. I think it's the okay, anyway, I'm gonna keep going, guys. Otherwise we're gonna stop, but I don't want to do that. All right, so I'm gonna go back and read the medication for you, but I hadn't got to the autopsy or the toxicology. Hydroxine, okay, hydroxyzine metabolite, citrazine, doxylamine, amphetamine, and fluoxetine metabolite. Again, I'm doing the best to pronounce these. I don't particularly talk about medication on here. So what I'll do here is just drop that in chat. That's what they have. Can you see that right there, guys? All right, let's keep going. I don't want to meander too long. All right, good to see you, Cynthia. Okay, so listen, let me get back to this real quick because we got a big show. All right, so you guys know about the lividity and all that stuff. Now, guys, her scalp, her hair is black with occasional gray strands and long. The irides are brown. I'm assuming that like the roots. Now the corneas and the sclera are unremarkable. The ears are pierced. There's a drainage of blood fluid from the nose and the mouth with dried blood rivules overlying the left nose and face. A dried blood rivulet extends from a wound on the right cheek, guys, over to the right forehead, and a wound from behind and the left ear. So if you can imagine what I'm talking about, she probably got shot and she put her hand up. She probably did this and put her arm up because she's got a wound here and a wound here. And then there's a point where she ran away. And when she ran away, that gunshot out of the 9 hit her through the back of the ear and came out through another side. All right. So that's what they're basically telling you. Her nose and lips were unremarkable. The teeth are natural and good condition. The chest and breast are symmetrical, no palpable masses, dried blood. Rivulets extend from the cluster of wounds to the mid-right paramedian chest. Patchy, moist, and dried blood, smears blood on the torso and extremities. Abdomen's flat. The pubic hair has been previously shaved, and external genitalia, anus, and perineum are otherwise unremarkable and atraumatic. The extremities are well developed. There's a deformity on the left upper extremity. Scattered small brown nevi are on the upper extremities. Dark purple nail polish on the toenails, and body fluid drains from the wounds of the upper left poster lateral trunk with staining on the back. That's brutal to get through, but that was the biggest one that I have to read because I wanted you to know what they did versus me just playing something and you hearing it. This is wild. Yeah, it's very detailed and written properly. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Amphetamine is ADHD, nothing unusual. It was something prescribed to her. All right, let's keep going. Again, I'm sorry. I had 200 people in chat. I have 169. Hit that like button if you would. Maybe because I'm freezing. I don't know. All right. So I'm not going to read every little thing, but there's 2 projectiles and 1 projectile fragment of the torso. I just kind of wanted you to hear what he did to her and how she moved. Head, trunk. What is the trunk? Like right here, head, trunk, and bilateral upper extremities. Multiple 9 gunshot wounds are present and described by convention with the body in standard anatomic position. All right. There's a gunshot wound of the superior right zygomatic or the right cheek. This is what I wanted to tell you guys. So he shot her in the right cheek. She got shot back behind the ear. It came out this way. And the wound consisted of 3/8 of an inch round defect with eccentric brown marginal abrasions. Widest at 1 6 clock aspect. The wound is located 4 inches from the top of the head and 3 from the anterior midline. There's no visible fouling or stippling, which means that they weren't close to her. More than likely, he wasn't close enough. Stippling would do this. If a shot comes, you'd see all this. The closer you are, the more stippling. They don't see any stippling that's visible. All right. After perforating the subcutaneous tissues, the hemorrhagic wound path continues through the right zygomatic bone. Right, left mandibular jaw, palpable exit wound on the posterior left mandibular region or earlobe, another 3/8 of an inch by 1/4 inch. A regular defect located 7 inches from the top of the head and 3.5 from the anterior midline. Course of direction was front to back, right to left, and downward. Okay, he did some damage here. I'm not going to read all this, but let me just tell you this. The entrance wounds of the gunshots 2 and 3 and 4, they're all clustered on the chest, and their respective paths and exit points are in close proximity and described together. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to read the whole thing. There was a gunshot wound on the right chest of Monique, a gunshot wound in the right paramedian chest with an entrance wound, right? And then they give you the purple contusion, a gunshot wound in the midline chest, and then paths of the gunshot wounds 2, 3, and 4. Right? I don't want to go over. I don't want to spend too much time on this. You guys get what I'm putting down, right? And I could put these up if you guys want me to. Exit wounds, we see paths and then exit wounds and where entrance and exit wounds. Okay. He did some damage to her, guys. I mean, 18 inches from the top of the head, 9.5. We had no idea. Lower lobe of the lung, the heart, and then the exit wound. You guys can see this, I hope. A gunshot wound complex is on the right forearm, consisting of 2 wounds, entrance versus exit wound. Designation is indeterminate. So she was absolutely either running or trying to fight him. She turned around and ran away. I wish I had a visual that I can see written out. Gunshot wound in the right hand, which probably means she was doing this. It says defect abrasion, widest at 12 and 4 o'clock aspect. The wound is located 22 inches from the shoulder. No visible stippling. Again, wasn't that close. All right. Exit wound, lateral right wrist. Damn, man. Jeez. So it went in her hand and out through the wrist. Is that from the back to the gunshot wound as lateral proximal left upper extremity? He did a lot of damage to her. That's what I have to say about that. And then it goes into the exits and the gunshot, all that. I'm not going to read all this. There's too much. And it's a lot of, medical stuff that I don't do all the time. Bullet recovery. That's what I want to know. A copper colored bullet jacket fragment is recovered from the human fractural site consistent with the location seen on x-ray imaging. The fragment is photographed, packaged, labeled, and sealed. All right. And then they go into details about her injuries in the lungs. All right. And then they go on her additional injuries, abrasions, mid chest. We kind of talked about all that. Calves, arms, hands, wrist. And then, of course, they weighed everything they needed, her organs, heart, lung, spleen, liver, everything looks good. Neck, the organs of the neck are removed. We don't need to know all that. It's an autopsy, right? All right. So representative tissue sections and retained. No tissue is submitted for histological preparation. All right. That's done. Okay. I'm not going to do the whole thing on Spencer's because it's very similar, but I am going to just look at the coroner findings quickly. That way we can start seeing the target that man has on his back. 9, she was shot 16 shots in total. Rebecca, best channel in mods, y'all are my crime crew fam. Well, thank you. 9 in her, 7 in him. Thank you. Yes. Guys, they in the article I was reading, it says that her face was unrecognizable. So maybe they didn't know it was her. I pray he didn't do that in front of her husband. And I pray that the kids didn't hear it or see it, any of it. All right. I hope I'm not frozen. Are you guys okay? All right, let's keep going. I can't keep doing that. Just mods text me if there's a problem. I'll keep my mod chat open. All right. Let's get through this. All right, so we did Monique's autopsy, the coroner's report. Take a look at that. Basically, she was born 1986, 39 years old, white, female. Decedent's residence was where they found her. Time of death, 10/11 on 12/30. I don't know where they got that from, but okay. Maybe when they got there, they pronounced it. Immediate cause of death, gunshot wounds of the head, trunk, and extremities with visceral, skeletal, and soft tissue injuries. All right, full autopsy, date examined on the 31st, address, etc. Now, let's take a look quickly at her labs, and then we'll do with Spencer's real quick. All right, so she was the target, in my opinion. It was Monique's ex. Now, look, here's the lab screenings. This is all we ever wanted in the Madeline Soto case, and we're never going to get that, right? So, lab results. This is the toxicology. Specimens received January 2nd, came back January 15th. None of these are detected. No benzos, no acetaminophen, no cannabinoids, no fentanyl, no methamphetamine, no opioids, no oxycodone, no salicylates. I don't know how to say that. No ethanol, acidic drugs, none detective. Hydroxyzine 105, which I think hydroxyzine metabolite, is that like a that speeds you up type of thing? Let me know or I'll look it up. All right, let's keep going. I love seeing the toxicology to see what was in them. Okay, doxylene, cetra. I don't even know what that does either, what that does or means. So we'll have to take a look at that together. I looked at the hydroxyzine that I was trying to find out what the hell that meant. And hepatic metabolism, cetrazine is clinically significant. Hydroxyzine goes under liver function, kidney function, and drug interactions. Okay, that cetirizine is an active metabolite, meaning much of the hydroxyzine's antihistamine and sedative. So it's an antihistamine, basically. All right. All right. So we get it. I just want to make sure. Now let's go to Spencer's real quick. There's his coroner's finding. He was 37, born 1988, white male, decedent's residence, next of kin, Spring Valley Circle, whatever that means. And then manner of death, gunshot wounds of the head, the neck, the trunk, extremities with visceral, skeletal, and soft tissue injuries. He didn't do as much damage to him, but he's got a full autopsy, homicide, time examined, 7:54 in the morning. All right, now let's take a look at Spencer's post-mortem report. We're not going to go over all of it. We just read gunshot wounds to the head, neck, trunk, extremities, all that. All right, gunshot wounds, and they go into specifics about his brain and his liver and his colon. He was shot, penetrating gunshot wounds, head, neck, trunk, and bilateral upper extremities. External examination, clothes removed, metal finger on the left ring. So he was obviously his wedding ring. He weighed 187 pounds, 73 inches, cold to the touch. He had identifying tags, bracelets are labeled, checked and correct. Hands are bagged and tagged. You know the drill. Scalp, hair, brown, short, staining with bloody fluid due to being shot in the head, right? Corneas are all good aside from the drainage of the fluid. The nose is unremarkable. There's drying with darkening on the lips. Wounds with blood staining drainage is evident. Both ears. There's light growth brown facial hair. Patchy blood stains on the face. Upper and lower teeth are natural and in good condition with attached clear liner. Chest symmetrical, no palpable masses. Right? External genitalia, anus, perineum, and unremarkable. Lividity, blood staining, everything's well developed. All right? All right. Projectile of the right upper extremity. They say none. Gunshot wound in the left ear. All right. Exit wound of the right ear. Damn, that's a 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch. That's a big one. Located 3 3/4 inch from the top of the head. A gunshot wound in the left posterior neck. Those are some big holes, guys. And the exit wounds are crazy. They're all pretty similar. Gunshot wound in the left upper chest. All right. After perforating the subcutaneous tissues, the hemorrhage wound path continues to the left interior, soft tissue, We got all this. All right. I'm trying to see if there's anything that we missed. Gunshot wound in the left chest, right? Big holes. I don't see any stippling. Still no visible stippling, which means he wasn't very close. Exit wound trunk, gunshot wound to the left hand. Exit wound lateral, back to front, right to left, upward with arm in standard anatomic position. Gunshot wound is in the upper left back. Did he just he just unloaded, guys. He unloaded and he couldn't have been that far because of the shots that he took and how big the holes were. He couldn't have been too far. All right. So they did all the same stuff they did with her. They say a slightly deformed, large caliber, jacketed bullet is recovered from the soft tissues of the distal humeral region, superior and medial to the elbow joint. The bullet's photograph package labeled front to back, left to right, up to down. All right. And then gunshot wounds are numbered as described. We don't have the pictures. Everything looks good with his heart, lungs, spleen, liver, neck, removed, examined, thyroid, all the same kind of stuff. They went over all the digestive, respiratory, nothing to speak about. They don't even have his toxicology on there, which is interesting because that's the coroner's report. That's the autopsy. Oh, there's the labs. Okay, there's his labs real quick. And then I'm done reading. We can finally move on. I know you guys didn't come for me to read big medical terms today, right? Okay. And I can't answer you if I'm reading, so I apologize if I missed anything, but I'm almost done. All right, so Spencer didn't have anything out of the normal either. His toxicological, that's what it says, analysis done. Same time, came back earlier. He didn't have any of this stuff. Nothing. No benzos, no fentanyl, no acetaminophen, no Tylenol, no basic drugs at all. Nothing. Guys, no alcohol, no weed, no opiates, no headache pills. This man had nothing, right? And then they just go into the different levels and all that. But we don't need to see that. So I'm going to pull this down. I've had enough of this for a minute. Let's take a look here. And we're going to get back to me not reading. Harris, good to see you. Now I can interact with you. Vegas or bust, baby. Come on in. All right, I think you guys got enough of those damn autopsy and what that reveals, right? If I'm correct. Let's start, let's do this. Let's break the monotony for a minute. And what will prison be like for him? And then we'll hop back into some other stuff. But with this man needs a target on his back. All right. Pearl, how's it feel to be back in the Bay Area? Tell him how much you love it here, Mom. Yes, Holly. very violent, scary, and brutal. That's brutal what he did. The way that he shot Monique, I mean, it had to have been. There's nothing else that we could that we can gather from that other than he wanted to end her existence. He wanted to take away her looks, in my opinion, by shooting her in the face the way he did. And in the report that says she's unrecognizable, he wanted to take away her face, her life. Choo choo. Thank you, Cool and Chris. And I just ordered a bunch of books that I wrote. I have a Reason 111 Why. I'm going to be giving those out real soon, and we're going to have them in the Foxy boxes. So thank you. Rebecca also says, choo choo. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wait a minute. We only thought in the beginning there was 3 shots. How did we hear 1? Exactly, Krista. That's my whole point today. I'm telling you, law enforcement only tells us what they think we need to know or what they want the public to hear. They didn't want us to know that there were 16 shots and Monique took the brunt of them and she was unrecognizable. Had we known that in the beginning, well, we would have known that she was the target and it might have let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. But good call. Holly says, choo choo. All right, let's break the monotony with this for a minute. You guys know I love Viking mindset. What will prison be like for vascular surgeon Dr. McKee? Right? Here's a break. This will make you feel better.
To the vascular surgeon, Michael McKee, in prison. The man they're saying killed his wife and her new husband in cold blood. They're saying he broke into the house, shot her once, and shot him twice while there were 2 young children. I'm interested to hear what you guys think, or what other evidence you guys have. Leave it in the comments. I was able to find out a lot of things. And before I go into prison and the experiences I have with quote unquote prominent figures, doctors, lawyers, pain doctors, and these prestigious people of our society, some of them are true sociopaths and they thrive in there.
Yep.
And other ones are fake, like Brian Kohlberger, who cry in there. But before I get into that, I want you guys to hear this crazy 911 call. See this dude's dating profile, the videos they have.
Yeah, this is awesome. You guys are going to this is a good break from all of the nasty stuff that goes on in the world to the victims. Right now, we're going to hear about the person that killed them is going to be a victim. Now, even with 16 shots and a silencer, how did nobody hear that? Well, listen, that's why, Krista, he picked between 2 and 5 a.m. because that's the best REM sleep that we're going to get. People were sleeping, a silencer. He might have even had a silencer and then a pillow on top of it. All right. Everything's in the description, my friend. This is Viking mindset. All right. But I always put in the description for you guys because I never would want to show somebody else's fair use content and not give them the credit for it. All right.
And let's see what y'all think. I found out that the clerk of courts accidentally made an error notifying him and his ex-wife that he allegedly murdered, that they had to make an appearance almost a year after their divorce. Man disappeared, had a silencer on the gun. Sounds familiar.
I'm on that, my friend. We're doing both today.
You know what I mean? Like a Luigi Mangione, except he was standing on business. Killing 2 people in front of children and leaving those children to find their parents dead for hours is just the weakest thing a man can do. As usual, the cops cannot accept their pride, their ego, and their unhingedness could have saved these children from less trauma if they went to the wrong house. The 911 operator call where she's basically telling people are missing all the time. It's like, I understand that some operators have to be kind of rude because they want them to maybe Freudian slip out of anger or something like that and confess or say a detail that only the killer would know. But no, she's straight like wanting to get back to eating a honey bun. So let's get into the case, and I'm gonna tell you about what will happen to him in his journey in prison. Let's get into it. So the surgeon.
All right, and don't worry, guys. You know I've got this for you, right? I love that we're on the same wavelength, though. And Synth, it's always gonna be, and thank you for dropping the link. It's always gonna be in my description. We also have Jumpsuit Pablo on the scene after we finish going through some other things. I'm breaking the monotony, and we're saying what the prison community is going to do to this egotistical monster. All right. Thank you so much. Foxy says, Jay, you didn't read additional injury section. Spencer was grazed by a bullet, meaning Monique was shot at before he was at some point. Well, thank you for catching that, Foxy. I have about 60 documents that I downloaded today. But thank you for pointing that out. You could have texted me. You didn't have to, but I appreciate the $5 super sticker. All right, our super chat. Now listen, that makes sense. Spencer was grazed by a bullet, meaning Monique was shot at before him at some point, which makes sense. I was reading it like putting his arm up or trying to defend himself, but you're right. I absolutely believe she's the target. Read additional injury. Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm not done, guys. The way I'm presenting today is a little bit different than what I normally do, but I assure you, I'm getting there. But I love you guys for helping me out. Thank you, Foxy. I appreciate that. I got you.
Michael David McKee, 39 years old. He's a vascular surgeon, originally from Chicago, living in a small town in Illinois at the time of his arrest. He's being accused and indicted by a grand jury in Franklin County, Ohio, which is about 300 miles away, maybe a little bit longer, about a 6-hour drive, on multiple charges related to the double homicide that occurred on December 30th, 2025. The victims, ex-wife Monique Tepe, 39, and her husband, Dr. Spencer.
Well, we know all this. I just want to
Yeah,
find out.
gunpowder residue, anything that they can link him, because when you fire a pistol, you don't see it. Anybody can't see it, but that shit stays on your body.
And guys, he's doomed. He's got he's got way too many, not only the bullet fragments, but he's got too many bullets that they pulled out of them, and just too many shell casings, right? Period, that match the evidence. He's screwed, along with the silencer and the way he did this crime. He's done for. All right, let's continue.
You know, they were able to track his vehicle near the home and around the time of the killings. Now, they think the dude that we just saw is 100% McKee that was walking down that little alley by the home. Now, this is his dating profile. And let's read what he's talking about on Bumble. He said, "I'm lucky to have work I find meaningful."
And guys, after this, we are going to go over what those autopsy findings mean. So, yes, thank you guys. I got my mod chat up here so I can kind of see you guys. I just wanted you to see. I know there's nurses in here sometimes. There's probably doctors, people that understand all this that will put 2 and 2 together. And what freak had in this system? Wonder what freak had. I wonder that too. Use the $5 to help shipping. Of course, I'm shipping directly to you, girl. We'll talk about that. All right. What he did was brutal, and we're getting to it. I'm just kind of going back and forth because it is very triggering and brutal.
Increased free time for new things. Currently trying hot yoga. Way less flexible than I recall. Planning a trip itineraries to finally make use of global entry.
He's full of
on
shit.
An electric motorcycle. Haven't died yet. Now, this dude wasn't just one of the highest levels of doctor you could be as a surgeon.
He's a liar.
He was an elite football player that played in the NCAA. First, we're going to listen to the 911 calls. These are going to piss you off. I mean, they got to do something about these fucking police, man. They out of control. They just cannot be told what to do.
Yes.
They will literally let kids be traumatized.
Like that. No, sometimes people just don't show up to work. I mean, maybe he's sick. I don't know.
We're not going to listen to that because I have some coming up, but I want to hear what he says about this. And did they find a suspect? Yes, Duke, they did, but not what you think. So are you talking about the Guthrie case? In the Guthrie case, they arrested somebody that was inserting themselves with a fake ransom note. So if you're seeing that people got arrested in the Guthrie case, somebody did, but it was a fake person trying to get a buck or get into the news. So nobody has really been arrested for that actual crime. Don't believe it. All right. It hasn't happened yet. See, I knew you guys would know what's up. Absolutely, guys. Abso-freaking-lutely. Wait until I show you the unsealed affidavit. I haven't even showed you that.
And I swear, I think I heard one yell, but we can't get in. At this point, I don't know if I need to break the door in or just get in the house or what. So.
Okay, were you out there when the police was out there?
Now, understand there's kids in this house. And listen to how they're acting, right? Like, it's whatever.
But
like, they couldn't be wrong,
at this
right?
point, I don't know if I need to break the door in or just get in the house or what. So.
Okay, were you out there when the police was out there?
I wasn't. I just got here about 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Oh, when they say, did y'all get the police out there? This is the police going to the wrong house and then making the people feel bad for calling and checking on their friends again. And, you know, he had some malpractice shit going on. He disappeared.
Yeah, he did disappear. And the last couple of days before he was arrested, one of his patients died. So he did surgery 2 days after. And then that person died after he got taken into custody. And then he was disappearing. They couldn't serve him. They wanted to. All right. In the Guthrie case, I think there's a tie to the Olympics and they start tomorrow. And Savannah's supposed to go to Italy and cover it. Interesting. Well, I'm all over that. So don't worry about it. And if I miss something, I will come back to it. I promise. All right. Let's keep going.
It's very strange behavior, but it's also a lot of people that I met in prison that were doctors and lawyers and prominent people that were able to do such high-level jobs and associate with so many people. They were either true American psychos or they had no idea what they were truly going to get into. They just thought they were smarter than everybody. But then they enter prison with the worst of the worst, criminal geniuses that prey on people like this. They look at a surgeon as somebody like, oh, we don't get these very often.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to immediately just be savage about it. They're going to step to him and kind of, guide him because they know he has access to money.
Now, I want you to know this. The Adelsons. Everybody knows who the Adelsons are, right? I think Charlie Adelson, is also a dentist. I think the stark difference between Charlie Adelson and Michael McKee, Charlie's a hustler. He knows how to hustle. He meets people that are bad. He can talk to thugs and do all the dealings, and he has money. The difference between him and McKee's a little, and I'm not saying that Charlie's a good guy, but he knows what he's doing. Michael McKee's going to go in there thinking his shit don't stink. He's a nerd. He's a recluse. He keeps to himself. He's got a lot of mental issues in his head. And we'll see that. We went over the psychology of it. The stark difference between the two is what's going to happen to Charlie's playing it off in there. When you hear about him, he's doing good. He's hustling, right? Or clickbaiting on the ransom letter, I bet. All right, let's keep going. We have a lot.
Resources and stuff that most people in prison would never see.
Yes.
And it'll usually be the race that'll take them in. And knowing that you have a surgeon, the knowledge, the weaponry, the resources that, kill spots and the shit that he could probably make and get there and has access to drug-wise and all this other shit and other connections with doctors, they will 100% use him, protect him, get him hooked on whatever, just maybe make him part of the team. It depends how he adapts. If he's weak, which it seems like it, killing 2 people in front of their kids because you couldn't let her go. Let her go. Right. Now, I'm sure there'll be people that say listen, whatever happens in a relationship, you just got to let it go. Now, if that was your kids and they were being hurt and you waited a year, 2 years, handle your business. Those are kids. I get it. If someone hurt your kids, but you had no more ties. You had everything, but a lot of things you don't have is that control.
And guys, total premeditated when he left his phone at home, went there weeks before, he was there for hours. I mean, it just stacks up, right? It stacks and stacks and stacks. But with his personality and his ego and the fact that they know that he's going to have money, this is a high profile case. Just wait until we get to the jumpsuit Pablo stuff.
And in prison, there is no control. It's game over. You wonder, right? Dude, did you do this for you or did you do that for her? You know what I'm saying? But then again, like I told y'all, look right here, they're saying that this was the divorce papers that the clerk of clerks accidentally sent. I don't know. So he's either going to be a resource and adapt and love it and be able to be in control in there, or he's going to be weak, used, abused, extorted, and turned out. Stay free, us.
Oh, yeah. Just wait. Pablo knows what's up. All right. So we're going to jump into, I think this is it, what I wanted to show you. And the reason I want to show you this one is because the autopsy report reveals that I want to know what they think it reveals. So let's put this on, and then we're going to come back to the unsealed affidavit, and then we're going to see what else prison has in store, and somebody specifically is targeting him. All right. I believe that. I truly do.
This is 39-year-old vascular surgeon, Dr. Michael McKee. Now, he's defendant Michael McKee. He was taken into custody for some questioning. You see him walking casually through the police station moments ago. And when he was walking there, he was not restrained. Well, now there's some new documents revealing his ex-wife, Monique, was shot 9 times, including once in her face, 3 times in her chest. She also had an injury on her leg.
And that's what I wanted to hear from the experts say. Oh, according to this, that means this happened. And this was, you know what I'm saying? He's in a cushy new facility right now. I don't know how cushy it is. However, when I reported the last time about where he was, it wasn't so nice or cushy. And it's jail. All right. He's not used to that. Not used to that at all. Jimmy Joe gets a hold of him. Me too. All right, what does these autopsy reveal? What does it reveal about what he did that day? Am I on the right one? Oh, here it is.
Her husband, Dr. Spencer Tepe, was shot 7 times, including once to his head. Their children and their dog were left unharmed, and police have said that they found weapons in McKee's home.
We can also say that multiple weapons were taken from the property of McKee, and there's a preliminary link from our NIBIN to one of the weapons that ties it to the homicides.
Police say that a silencer was used and they only found 3 spent rounds at the crime scene. You might remember us reporting this. So if they only found 3 spent casings, did the shooter clean up?
No, a lot of the casings that we heard were taken out of them, and there was fragments, a few casings, and ones that were left inside the body. That's what we read. All right, maybe he was afraid of going to jail for the botched surgery, so he wanted to take care of his ex while he could. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even think I think he just got his medical license taken away. That was in Chicago. The new place is Ohio. Very fancy, latest tech. All right. What does this mean?
Or take the time to reload in the process of firing all those shots? Let's talk about it. Let's bring back in Noah Pines and Detective Tom Smith.
And again, that's what I thought. I didn't even think that he had 1 round in the chamber and then the 15 in the clip. That doesn't happen in California, not legally anyway.
Noah, the number of shots is chilling. What did you think when you heard that?
As a former prosecutor and someone who handled these cases, I've actually had cases where people have reloaded and kept shooting. It's anger. It is not just, I'm going to kill this person. It's something deep inside that wants you to keep shooting and shooting and shooting. I've had a case where somebody shot him, emptied it, stepped over him, reloaded, and just emptied a whole nother clip.
Oh, what about the what about the who did that? I can't. Why did I just blank out? The Menendez brothers. They shot their parents to death, went back, reloaded, came back in. Complete overkill. Thank you, Joseph Morgan. I appreciate that. High capacity 9mm holds 16. But yes, you got to have the high capacity 9mm magazine in order to do that. Because I have plenty of 9mm that don't hold more than 10, which is what we get in California. All right. So I know in other places it's much different. All right, let's keep going.
Into him, and it was just anger.
Oh, it's so disturbing.
And personal.
Right. This we knew from the outset this was very personal. Detective Smith, I remember you using that word on this show when they were looking for the suspect and we didn't know who was going to be brought in. And tell me, now that you know more about the number of shots, what do you think about those casings? 3.
All right, that's what we're going to talk about now. So what does he think about the number of shots?
There's a body. Our friend wasn't answering his phone. We just did a wellness check. We just came here and
Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there. Hold on. Megan Kelly just decided she wants to talk right now, and I don't even have her queued up for the day. All right, hold on. What the number means. Did he reload and what it means? Let's go. Sorry about
this was rage. This was a message that he wanted to send to them of his anger that he had with both of them. But as far as the crime scene goes, I think he probably, cleaned up as best he could. And maybe those 3 rounds were in a location he couldn't get to, maybe under a body or under the bed that he didn't want to, spend any more time at the location to gather. But again, it just shows the cold-heartedness and just monster-like attitude and thought that he perpetrated on them in the amount of rounds and where the rounds were fired. Anywhere near the face or head is a clear message that he wanted to send.
Now, guys, I think law enforcement, and you guys, if you've worked in law enforcement or you're just a true crime junkie, how many of you think that police intentionally just let it be out there that Monique was shot 1 time and he was shot several in the chest? That couldn't be farther from the truth. However, if they would have told us that and we would have said, oh, shoot, he was going after Monique, then people would have put 2 and 2 together and he might have ran. So I think that, but let me know if you think that as well. I absolutely think they let the misinformation out there. I know it's a right as Grace first. Throw now they're protesting, let him out. All right, rest in peace. That's the best thing Rest in peace, Monique and Spencer. Justice does need to be served. I agree. All right, we still got him with the target on his back. Don't worry. I just want to talk about the actual shooting and what does it mean?
It's chilling, Detective. We don't know the exact weapon that law enforcement have sent to the crime lab. We know they said one is linked, but they haven't been specific about it. We just know those spent rounds are 9mm rounds. Tom, do you think that this was a situation of reloading?
It's hard to say. It depends on, maybe the evidence collection that they had in the house. How many magazines were actually found at the location? They didn't get into that. All they spoke about were the weapons. So that's going to be interesting to see if he did reload. And no one knows this as the prosecution. That's going to be a part of it, but not a real important prosecutional part. I think when it comes to it, he did what he did with the amount of rounds that he did. If they find different magazines, that may lead to just another.
And it's complete overkill. What he did to her face is just complete overkill. I'm sorry if it's spinning, guys. I don't like this any more than y'all do. What should I do? Okay, so I still want to I guess we understand what's going on. I can move forward. Let me listen to this.
Part of his rage when it comes to this.
Mm-hmm. Right. Noah, back to the prosecution with something like this. Hopefully a very seasoned domestic violence prosecutor will be on it. Will you speak to that, please? The importance of having a lawyer who understands that post-separation abuse can happen years later to somebody who was in a cycle of violence.
Okay, I don't think he's going to get any breaks or deals that come out of this unless he decides to say, you know what, here's what I did. I don't want that, because they're not saying anything about the death penalty right now. All right. Did he reload? He could have not. We don't even know. I'm not 100% sure that it was a Sig Sauer. It could have been a Smith & Wesson. It could have been a Glock, and he could have had 2 clips ready to go. First clip unloaded, second clip unloaded, most of it. We don't know. We don't know for sure, but what we believe is that Monique was the actual target, and well, his anger took both of them out. All right. So let me just show you I'm going to show you this unsealed affidavit real quick. And thank you so much, Rebecca. I haven't seen you in a while, but I do appreciate you. Thank you. And if I missed anybody's anything, I'll get back to it. All right. Okay, real quick. Let's keep going. I'm sorry that my internet's doing that, guys. I hate it. All right. So this is the unsealed affidavit. He was taken into custody on January 10th. All right. They just released this, I think, last week. We've got the criminal case number with the officer, personal knowledge of the facts, and basically what it says on December 30th, 2025 at 9:57 a.m. in Columbus, police patrol officers were dispatched to the 1411 North 4th Street on a check on the well-being of Dr. Spencer Tepe, who had not shown up to work. Officers arrived and found Tepe and his wife, Monique Tepe, deceased inside, suffering from the gunshot wounds. I'm wondering why they didn't say that they had the wrong house. 2 minor children were found inside the home to be unharmed. Columbus Fire Medic number 7 responded and pronounced both victims deceased at 10:11 a.m. That's why. Columbus Police Unit Team 2 was advised, responded, and initiated an investigation. Early on in the investigation, detectives were advised by identifiable friends and family of Monique Tepe, and that Monique had told them her ex-husband, Dr. Michael McKee, had been abusive and had made numerous threats on her life during and after their marriage. Now, a identifiable witness told detectives that Monique Tepe had shared an allegation against Michael McKee of forced, unwanted sex and strangulation. All right. Another identifiable witness told detectives that McKee has told Monique that he could kill her at any time and would find her and buy the house. He can kill her at any time and would find her and buy the house right next to her. that she will always be his wife. Now, during the investigation, detectives were able to identify the suspect through the neighborhood surveillance. This suspect was tracked to a vehicle which arrived prior to the homicides and left shortly after. A video of his vehicle and a distinct features a vehicle which arrived prior and left shortly after. Features allows detectives to identify both a stolen Ohio license plate as well as an Arizona license being displayed at different times. Further searches showed that the vehicle to be associated with the past address is Michael McKee, right? And then they got his work address in Rockford, Illinois. Additional video was obtained and showed McKee in possession of the vehicle prior to and after the homicides, all right? On the 11th day of January 2026, signed, dated, and out of here. All right, let's keep going before I lose everybody. You, what's up, Cirrus? How you doing? Welcome, girl. You're back. Yay. All right, let's get down to this because we don't want to miss this part. I don't want to lose you guys. Good thing my internet didn't do this yesterday, huh? That would have been awful. All right. All right, guys. Michael McKee targeted by inmates. And I have timestamps where I'm going to play this. Jumpsuit Pablo, baby.
My mind, how some people go to jail and just in record time, they can't wait to make all the other inmates not like them and do something to turn everyone against them. Michael McKee is at the very beginning of a long road in court with
Yes,
murders
sir.
of Monique and Spencer Tepe.
Guys.
Yet he has already made a mistake in the Franklin County Jail. He's currently held in with no bond. Now, as someone who spent 10 years in state prison myself, I know exactly what lies ahead for Michael McKee, not only in county jail, but state prisons also. With Ohio being one of the most gang-infested prison systems in the country, 1 in 5 inmates belonging to a gang. Will one of them recruit him? Would they give him a chance? Or are they going to be the reason his sentence ends a little early?
Hell no, they're not going to recruit this guy. And I'm telling you right now, with his attitude of no remorse, how he walks around so nonchalant and egotistical, he's going to have to drop that act and either join the people in prayer and pretend like he's religious, or he's just gonna be someone's bitch, because that ain't happening. Nobody's gonna put him in their gang, I assure you.
What do they have to say about Michael McKee? We'll find out. Let's get started.
He's so screwed.
It's ridiculous. Michael McKee's walking in here. Let me put on my tough guy face, and you're not. I mean, this is your default face right here, like the ones you had on your dating app on Bumble. I mean, you're a smiley, hey, hi, yeah kind of guy. That's not you. That's not you. And if I can tell that, I'm not the smartest inmate in the world, former inmate. If I can tell that, everyone else can tell that inside.
And Jumpsuit Pablo still talks to people in these different facilities. That's not a good facility that he's going to be in. And Ohio is not the best place. You say doubt they do anything to him in prison, he'll be an asset. Well, here's the problem. What you just said, Rachel. Yeah, he'll be an asset. They're going to do something to him, but they're not going to take his life. All right. He's going to be their bitch. They're going to probably extort him for commissary and anything else they want to. All right. Thank you. Gotta love Pablo. Your audio is excellent and uninterrupted. Great coverage as far as I'm concerned. Well, thank you. Lena, I appreciate that. Yeah, you can't hit a man with glasses out the window. He's not going to have those too long. Don't trust skinny lips. I agree. Even Pablo has bigger lips than this dude. Don't trust him.
Prison. And honestly, it's a bad move. It kind of signals that you're scared. Okay, I'm not a part of this lifestyle. I committed awful crimes, and so now I'm a criminal, but I'm not a career criminal, and I don't really come from a criminal lifestyle where that's kind of what I was doing all day, every day, just throughout the majority of my lifestyle. You're a professional. You're in the medical field. You're a surgeon. You hang out with people who I'm sure are somewhere on a career and profession level as you. You're a sophisticated civilian of society for the most part. You get the point I'm trying to make. The majority of people in jail and prison,
literally,
they've been doing this their whole life almost. There's no better way to signify to other inmates, because they're going to see this mugshot. Inmates love to watch the news, especially the local news. You're isolated in there. You feel like you don't know what's going on out there, and you want to know what's going on out there. And one of your only, if not the best and main way to know what's going on out there is to watch the news, which you're allowed to do in there. And so they're obsessed with it. You better not.
They're very obsessed with the news because there's certain channels that and sports. All right. I hear a lot of that. Again, my nephew and my brother did 5 years in prison. I don't ask too many questions about what happened inside, but I do know with my nephew, he was smart and he went to church all the time, and he, got into more spirituality and growing up. As far as my brother, I don't even know, but again, I don't ask too many questions because people that go in prison in and out or in and out don't really talk to you about things. It's like having a somebody in the military that served in war. They come back with this PTSD that you just don't know exactly what it is. Well, yeah, that's how it is for prisoners. And he is going to be a huge target. There's a target on his back already.
Change the channel when the news is on 3 times a day in prison. And so they watch this. And especially when you have something high profile like this, I mean, this is turning into something very high profile. It's in your state. This person's probably coming to your state prison if and when found guilty. You're going to be tuned in. You're going to be very interested in it. It never fails. It's not just this guy. I've covered many cases like this. Alec Murdaugh in South Carolina, the inmates were all over it. Wade Wilson in Florida, the inmates were all over it. They were following everything. They know everything we know about this guy. And so that being said, they're looking at this photo and it's like, look at this doofus. Like, ooh, I'm shaking in my boots. Look at this guy. Look at how tough he's got his jaw clenched. But it's not working, buddy. Polish your glasses a little more so we can see that furrowed brow that you're trying to put on just a little bit. But see, the inmates who are coming into jail.
Is Jumpsuit Pablo somebody's eye candy? Jen's a gypsy and someone else that likes redheads? Come on, y'all. If you guys are getting hot in here, hit that like button. We had 4,500 people yesterday, and today we have 149 people, and we can actually interact with each other. Yesterday, I was like, I miss you guys. I can't see your comments. So today, perfect. All right. So take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot. I want to. Okay, I'm not going to say that part. Let's keep going.
Who are really dangerous, and they're really like that. They're really what you got to watch. It's not even a thought in their head. To be like, should I try to look a little tough in my mugshot? They don't have that thought because I don't need to look that they are tough. And everybody knows that already, probably. And if you don't, you'll find out, and you don't need to find out from some expression I fake on my mugshot. In fact, most of those guys who are really dangerous, they're smart enough to know it's probably in my best interest to look even a bit sad and sympathetic. And I can't believe.
Yeah, because he looks like he's all hardcore, like, who cares what happens? I'm tough. He's not going to be tough. And Jumpsuit Pablo broke up. I think his girlfriend broke up with him around the holidays. So, guys, Jumpsuit Pablo, I think he's single, everybody. Yeah, Jen's a gypsy knows. It's getting hot in here. I am getting so hot. I want to take my clothes. All right. Number 10, reach the goal. Map investigates. My guy. When are we going to collaborate, dude? What's up? What are you working on nowadays? All right, let's keep going.
This, and they'll get in there and that's their mugshot. Meanwhile, they're probably the most deadly top percentage of deadly inmates in there because they know the judge is going to see this mugshot. The jury's going to see this mugshot. Anytime it's used, that's the one it's going to be. And if you get on there and you're like, doesn't exactly scream innocence. Doesn't exactly scream, I don't know. How are they arresting me for this? It wasn't me. No. Yeah. Doesn't really portray that. So this guy already just making like rookie moves. I mean, this is what a guy who's never spent a day behind bars would do.
And we've seen both of his mugshots. We're like, this guy is either hardcore, an egomaniac, a psychopath, or all of the above. There's my mugshot. I'm going to be serious. No, actually, there it is. Cheese. Did you get the right angle? Let's do a mugshot. Let's do practice mugshots. Oh, he's killing me.
If he got arrested for murders and put in jail and had to think, what about all those movies and TV shows I watched that had prison scenes in them? And what if all my information is just from what I've seen on TV? and in movies. Oh yeah, look tough. Doesn't work like that, man. It really doesn't work like that. So already you're kind of showing how naive you are. And once you start showing that, then you're just going to open yourself up to more and more problems, because inmates are going.
They already know he has money coming, and he's going to drag his feet. In my opinion, with the lawyer that he has, they're going to delay after delay, guys. We're not going to see a trial like we saw so quick in the Matty Soto case. No way, no how. This doctor, he thinks he's smarter than everyone in the room. I assure you. I was watching a news article or a news video earlier where law enforcement came in and said, this guy is unbelievable. Just wait until he gets to prison or jail. They're going to eat him alive. And it was totally separate from this segment. I'm like, hell yeah, he is. And everybody knows it.
Going to easily recognize that you are not really hip to the game. They call it being green. And that just means you're naive. They're going to come up to you and they're going to run some very common, classic, just oldest trick in the book. Got your nose. It's like the got your nose of prison tricks, scams, and just quick hustles to take advantage of someone who is extremely naive to those types of things, and they're starting to realize that he is. And the first step with that is his mugshot. It really does go that deep, because inmates have all day, every day, all year for many years to figure out how much or how little of a threat you are to me, or how much of a benefit you are to me. And it's not, it's not even, oh, you're a benefit to me because you got a lot of money and you're willing to pay for protection and extortion.
And guys, he might not. We don't know what his assets are like. He might get that lawyer pulled. She might just pull the rug from under him, because I don't know that he has the money and the assets. Remember, he's also simultaneously being sued. Right? There's a civil matter against him. So are they going to lock his money up? What's going to happen? What good is he then otherwise? He better get his doctor skills on with his damn scalpel, guys, because he's going to be doing backyard surgeries. I'll tell you what, he might even have to do them for himself. All right, just get him a giant bottle of lube, and he doesn't even have to hurt his wrist. He'll be good to go. All right, let's keep going.
You're a benefit to me because, you know a lot of well-connected people, and you could probably help me out. You're a benefit to me because you're stupid and you're not hip to a lot of silly little things that people try to pull on you in prison. And so you're a benefit to me because of how gullible you are.
And gullible is going to be his number one downfall. All right. Just remember that. People that understand the streets, even if you never been on them, are much better off. He has no idea what he's looking forward to there, my friends. I don't think they're going to offer him a plea deal for that type of crime. All right. I'll tell you that right now. Now, if I had to go, I always make sure I'm prepared. If I had to go, I'm going to walk into there. I'm going to let them search me. And then I'm going to say, hey, girl, let me see your pen and some ink. And I'll come right in and I'll just start tattooing. I'll tattoo my ass off. That's how I'll be good. Always good. I'll trade you some hot Cheetos for a little heart tattoo. Okay, Jay, let's go. Not that I want to go, but have I had to think about it? Yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah, there's malpractice against him and PA who was working under him. Also, the person died that he operated on, he did surgery on 2 days after the murders. All right. So there's that as well.
How just uninformed and naive you are. And I'm going to be able to squeeze a good chunk of things out of you before you start to catch on.
Oh, yeah.
And after enough time, he will. But until then, it's open season. It's Michael McKee, deer season, duck season. It's Michael McKee season.
It's hunting
Get him
season.
while he's hot. Get him before he realizes, like, all of this stuff he ends up getting the crap into the stick on, if that makes sense. I'm not going to try to rant to it, but it's just so intricate, and there's just so much to put into an assessment of what someone's experience is going to be. I could get lost for hours talking about any case, but.
And he does. So we're going to keep continuing, though, because it's making me feel better after hearing what he did. Now, what if he did do other crimes and no one knows? Well, that's going to be important, Linda, because, well, Are we going to have a match now for cases that are out there? Everybody now gets in there. They get fingerprinted. They get DNA testing. It goes in the database. What if he did other crimes and there's a connection? Then it's even open season part 2. All right. That's what I got to say about that. You read all those reports? My goodness, there's so many of them. The dead point was 84 with a leaking aorta. I'm not sure. He was an incompetent surgeon. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Dr. Death is all I got to say.
We'll stop there with the mugshot. But I do want to make a point. For instance, Wade Wilson went in there and his decision was, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tattoo my entire face with the crappiest, most awful, low quality tattoos you've ever seen. But nevertheless, I'm going to cover my face in tattoos. Why? Because he wanted to change his appearance to what he thought would make him more intimidating to other inmates. But he didn't have the experience and didn't have enough time behind bars to realize that that is also, just like this, with this mugshot with Michael McKee, that is also, like, whatever you think is going to trick these inmates, you're talking about going to prison. These guys have been there. Maybe some of them longer than you've been alive. These guys know.
Still in a pack of gum.
You're just firing off a flare gun. Hey, I'm scared and I want you to be intimidated. That's why I tattooed my entire face in record.
Oh, yeah. Wade Wilson did that. And I think now that we look back, we're like, what'd you do, bro? Have you seen recent pictures of Wade Wilson? I can't stand him so much that I covered the Wade Wilson case initially. And I think people forgot that Wade Wilson actually has victims, right? He has victims. It's not about a handsome killer, Wade Wilson. First of all, he's not handsome. And second of all, he murdered 2 women in one night and ran over one and said it looked like spaghetti. All right. These people are shite. I don't even want to cover it because I can't stand him.
Time. As soon as I went to jail and realized I'm facing
10 years,
enormous amounts of prison time. And I'm going to be here quite a while, most likely. Let me tattoo my entire face. For what? Is it on your bucket list?
He knows he's not getting out.
Or do you think people will look like, oh man, he's a freak. He's scary. He's so unpredictable. There's no telling what he'll do. Man, them people,
I
you
agree.
don't know what they'll do. They don't care about that, man. They don't care what you got on your face. And that is the easiest, one of the quickest ways, just like this mugshot, to spot, man, this guy's scared and he's doing things to try to psych people out into thinking that he's a threat and you're not. And you just reveal that. And so if he keeps doing stupid little, I mean, he's kind of following a blueprint of, again, I told you, I've seen people come in and take this path and every path in between, extreme, and in between. If he keeps going on the blueprint of the pattern that I'm very familiar with, he is going to have a rough time, but it's not set in stone. And here's why. We got to get into some physical traits and some physical acts. And some of this is going to sound a little cold and a little crass, maybe even a little cruel. And
we're here for it, right? Cold, crass, and cool. You say he's bloated. Are you talking about Wade Wilson now? Because Wade Wilson looks terrible, by the way. All right. Yeah, he's bloated. He ate himself. And I think I thought he has a wife. Did they divorce already? Jeez, man, let's put Wade Wilson with Dr. McKee. It'll be their alter egos of each other, right? Let's keep going.
Unsympathetic. But if that's how you feel about the assessment I'm going to give about these next few subjects, I need you to understand that every word I just used is an understatement of convicts and the prison world. They're not exactly overflowing and filled to their eyeballs with emotions and sympathy and sensitivity and ethics and just, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. This is how they think: cold, cruel, crass, harsh. That's where you're going. That's why it's scary to go there. That's why it's a punishment.
And guys, I mean, nowadays they have so many amenities. People go in there because they can't afford food on the outside. It's cold. They're living wherever. So that's not good. And when you see and you realize that these inmates get tablets, get TVs, get this kind of special food, you're like, how is that possible? We're not even eating that good. What is up with that? Right, gag me with the fork. I got to show you something real quick, too. I wanted to show you, beside from Jumpsuit Pablo, that when they booked him and the way he looks, okay, the way Dr. Michael McKee looks, acts, and walks around, boy, does the sheriff say the same thing about Mr. Dr. McKee that Wade Wilson is saying. I want to show you real quick because I have it in the perfect position, but I promise you I'll get back on. I just have to get this to you. Perfect. I couldn't have paused it at a better point. Did you see that? I paused it right at that point. There you go. That's what he's going to look like in prison, in jail. You see that pose we got going on? Check that out. There he is with his mouth open, face down and ass up. That's the way we like to. What? Fill that in, guys. Look at this. We got his legs spread open and they're wide, and someone's behind him. What's he doing there? Those oodles and noodles caught up with Wade Wilson, right? All right. That picture is what he's going to look like. And listen to what they say about it. And then we'll go back to Wade. Yeah, hard time for sure. The mouth wide open, I'm dead. And that's what I put it on because I'm like, damn. What's up, Lynn? Good to see you, my friend. There was a lot of new subscribers, more than 100, but yeah, awesome. We had 110,000 views thus far. Yeah, let's check that oil, sir. Let's check the oil back there. Just want to make sure it's okay. Let's humble this guy right now. Hey, Mary Beth, how you doing? Very humbling. Let's watch him be humbled. Let me back up a little bit. Look at this, man. This guy's already taking it from behind. And he walks exactly like that stupid video where we see the person. Watch his demeanor, his stature, and his walk. Just pay attention to that.
This Franklin County Jail video shows 39-year-old Michael McKee being booked for the December 30th murders of his ex-wife, Monique Tepe, and her husband, Spencer.
This is a completely different setting than what he was used to there in Chicago.
Within minutes, McKee's clothes and boots seized, and he's patted down by corrections officers.
This is a different living arrangement. And
so yeah.
I think he's just dealing with it day to day.
ABC6 talking with retired Columbus Police Detective Jay Fulton, who worked 17 years in homicide.
I think he thinks he's the smartest person in any room he walks into.
How so?
Well, you can kind of tell he seemed bored by the extradition hearing.
He was bored by the extradition. He was so bored about hearing about a 9mm. Is that a 9mm in your pocket? Are you happy to see me? Did you drop a shell casing? Or did you just commit a double homicide? I don't know. But this guy is janky AF. You better get the lube out, boy. Because everybody notices his demeanor. And he acts like a tough guy. He acts like he's bothered. I can't be bothered by this. Look at his demeanor. He's a fool.
Illinois. He seemed uninterested in his video arraignment.
A newly unsealed police affidavit states McKee was captured on video outside the Tepe's Wineland Park home for several hours, just 3 weeks before the homicides.
And that's what I read to you earlier. That was the first time I saw in writing that Monique had conveyed to friends and family that he not only strangled her, but he also essayed her at some point, and that he was still never going to leave her alone. She was always going to be his wife. He was talking about buying a house next door across the street. This guy was obsessed for over 8 years, guys. They were literally only physically married for 2 years technically, but 7 months incompatible. This guy's a freak.
While the couple was in Indianapolis attending the Big Ten National Championship game. Police say McKee caught on camera near the Tepe's home around the time of the murders. His silver SUV tracked from Columbus to Rockford, Illinois, where he worked as a vascular surgeon. This affidavit revealing the vehicle had distinct features, including a stolen Ohio license plate. McKee's cell phone the day of the murders left at the hospital where he worked, unactive, for 17 hours.
He was committed to this course of conduct in an almost, maniacal type, overriding common sense way.
Does it look like he'd been planning this for a while?
I would say probably months in the planning.
The court affidavit says Monique told family and friends McKee had been abusive and made threats on her life during and after the marriage, telling Monique he could kill her at any time.
It screams motive. I mean, she felt disrespected. He felt abandoned.
Abandoned.
It was something he couldn't overcome.
McKee pled not guilty to all the charges when he was in court last week. He passed on requesting bond and remains locked up here at the Franklin County Jail. On your side, I'm Steve Levine.
He's screwed, literally and physically. All right, now back to Pablo. Let's get this back down. We don't need my face to be that big, and go back. I just want you to see it's not just the jumpsuit Pablo or the Viking. It's everybody that's saying it.
They're not going to care about the crimes he committed. He will not be targeted because he killed a woman. That's, I know a lot of people think that, you know, nobody ever cared, you know, oh, well, he also killed a husband. He killed a man. I don't think anyone would make an argument. Well, he murdered a man. So they're going to get, nope. But they will say, well, he murdered a woman. And I know one thing, inmates don't like that. I'll tell you something. He allegedly, in my opinion.
Thank you for asking. I love you guys when you come in late and you ask questions. Always feel comfortable that I'm going to answer you. And when I do, sometimes I'm loud because I'm always loud and I'm being passionate. But listen, Mary Beth, nobody was arrested in connection with her death, but somebody was arrested for putting a fake ransom note out pretending to be the people that kidnapped her. It was some weird goth dude that was arrested, but it really doesn't have anything to do with the case except for him inserting himself in it. So the short answer is no, nobody was arrested for that yet. There was a press conference, but it didn't say much.
Sorry, gotta say that. He allegedly murdered his ex-wife because he couldn't stand the fact that she left him and got with another man and had a happy, successful marriage.
Well, the 5-year anniversary was eating him up. In my opinion, law enforcement said due to his being able to see his electronics, computer, etc., he had watched those wedding photos or videos over and over and over. All right. So he had a wife at some point, but I heard it was just, or maybe he was married at some point, but it was just for citizenship. But we did do an interview. We played the interview of an ex-girlfriend on the last episode. So go to my description and check out the playlist. Hello, Darlene. How are you, my friend?
You think inmates are going to be mad at him about that? Inmates. Half of them are in there for harming a woman or the woman in their life or the woman they're in love with. Half of them are in there, maybe not for that, but have a history of domestic violence and beating on their woman. A lot of them went in there for something unrelated to harming a woman and got a lot of time, and the woman couldn't handle, rightfully so, the idea of staying with this person for unheard of amounts of years and just sacrificing their life to be loyal to this inmate who is not getting out for 10, 15, 20 years because they did something very silly and stupid. And so they had to leave and go, and they've moved on with their life, and they're bitter about it, and they can't take accountability. They're bitter about it, and they blame her. That freaking, I can't even say the word.
Not yet, Lynn. Where'd you send that, girl? I want to read your super sticker message, but it hasn't come through. And if it does, I promise I'll read it. Everything's just lagging, but is it under a different name, Lynn? I don't want to interrupt everybody, but Mab hit that. Number 10, Jen's a Gypsy, Cirrus, Rebecca, Foxy, Rebecca, Holly, Rebecca, Cool and Chris. Rebecca's killing it today. Foxy's smoking. Cool and Chris, Indy, Flojo, Cool and Chris. No, I haven't seen anything yet, my friend. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Freaking YouTube.
They'd say, you know, and they're angry and they're bitter and they're going to hear all the, well, she left me and married another man. And so I killed them both. And they're going, oh, honestly,
okay,
that's how screwed up it is. And so I do want to get that out of the way. They don't give a crap about what he did.
Cool.
He didn't do it to a child. And so that's that. That's out the window. They don't care what he did. They don't care who he did it to. Now, they do care about, is this guy a benefit to me or is he a threat to me? So let's talk about it. Is he a threat to these inmates right now? No. Could he be a threat? Possibly. And it depends on, you know, he's going to be in here, what, a year, 2 years before this trial is over. That's just how it goes, especially with these high profile murder cases. Double murder at that, and maybe even death penalty on the table. He's going to be in there for, a handful of time. And it depends on what he does in this time. This man right now currently is 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. That's according to his.
I mean, that's a pretty decent stature right there, right? Pretty decent. He's gonna be man. He's gonna be a man target. I know. I do love. Jumpsuit Pablo is actually a lot more funny on other episodes. This one, he's kind of serious. This is a serious case. They're all serious cases, but this is the real deal, guys. And again, Lynn, I haven't seen anything, but since I have you here and everybody here, I absolutely want to thank Shelly R, Brady, Renee. I shouldn't even say your name. I'm sorry. Midnight Lace, Kathy, Indy, Deb, and yeah, you guys are supporting the Buy Me a Coffee. I just want to make sure I didn't miss somebody. Yeah, no more roids. What's going to happen? You think he's going to get fat? Darlene, we could have used you here earlier for the medical talk.
Booking information at the jail. 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. Biggest guy in the world? Nope. 200 pounds of muscle? Nope.
He does look taller than 6 feet. Hey, Panda.
He's still a average or above average guy. He doesn't have a disadvantage, I'll tell you that. And if the guy starts now, because I can tell you right now, he's in solitude. Over time, even in this jail, he may be moved to some form of population to have interaction with other inmates and be around other inmates. But right now, if I was him, a piece of crap, and I only cared about my survival in jail or prison and kind of working towards getting the best outcome and the best chance of having a shot at being.
You know what? I think he's going to go in there and not know what to do at first, like everybody else. I think he's going to be gullible, and the people that are pretending to protect him are going to run him. I think that after he gets past the hump, no pun intended, the hump, bump, he might be the useful idiot in there. Now, remember, if this guy is literally killing patients on the table where he has all the tools, what's he going to do to those people in prison that trust this vascular surgeon? You tell me. All right. There you go. Lynn from Vermont. I fear he did. Har and made Spencer watch. Wow. Yeah. But yeah, that's true. You're right. Because he also, not only that, it's speculated that he didn't take the lives of the children because he wanted them to live an existence without the parents, which is the best revenge. But the best revenge is going to be on him, and I hope those children get the therapy and the family that they need, and I think they will. All right. Jay, that's funny. All right, let's keep going.
Embraced and accepted and in the prison population and just not being absolute prey. Man, I'm doing push-ups. I'm doing squats. I'm doing pull-ups. I'm doing everything I can.
I can't do a pull-up.
Everything I can in my cell.
Nope.
I'm doing crunches. I'm doing cardio. I'm actively thinking. I'm observing things. I'm learning the way that things work. If I have a chance to interact with other inmates, maybe as short as it can be, I'm soaking in all the information I can. I'm learning and I'm preparing for the worst so that I'm not going in there like a blind duck. Like that's what happened with Brian Koberger. Brian Koberger sat in that county jail for years and he didn't gain a pound. He didn't do a push-up. He didn't gain a muscle fiber. He didn't learn anything. I know he didn't. Was I there? No, but I know he didn't. You know why? Because the fact that he went into prison, that maximum security prison, and instantly started snitching and writing up reports about the dumbest crap you've ever.
Oh yeah, if they catch that fool, Brian Koberger, they're gonna take him out. They're gonna make him suffer. He is a weird piece of trash, and the crime scene from the Idaho 4, it's devastating. Rebecca, I'm giving you a bunch of attention since you finally made it. You've been on the rewatch crew, being a loner. And you're happy to chat with us. Thank you for being here. What's up, Ryan the Gamer? Good to see you, my friend. Hit that like button. He just reminded me. And I don't know. I'm assuming you have a channel. If you want, drop the link. All right. Yeah, he's a weird dude. But again, Michael McKee is also very odd. his demeanor, his behavior, the psychology behind what we think he thinks like, it's similar. It's similar to Koberger.
Ever heard of someone who's been there and just, I know inmate culture and I just know just the norm of things. The things he was writing complaint reports about are the most ridiculous. Buddy, that is prison and you're complaining about, it's like, there's.
What about Sarah Boone? What about that? She's complaining because she said the ants ate her hair. Did you guys hear about that? She's in jail or she's in prison now, and the ants, her hair's all messed up because the ants just keep eating her hair. What does that even mean? You killed your boyfriend. You locked him into a suitcase. Suitcase, Sarah. He died a miserable death, and she's complaining about ants eating her hair. What? Heather, I was on a rewatch for a while. Well, welcome back. Such a waste of education. He's supposed to save lives, not take them. I think doctors and psychiatrists and other people, police officers, need a full psych eval before starting. And I agree. Fire ants gave her a new haircut. Yes. Cool and Chris, ants eating her hair. I shit you not.
Not enough art hanging on the wall. Like, it's equivalent to that. That's how I know you didn't learn or soak in anything or adapt at all. You didn't try. You had so much confidence, I guess, that you were going to beat this, that you didn't prepare to not beat it.
Like Sarah Boone.
That's what could happen to him. Because according to Brian Enton, great journalist and YouTuber, by the way, very big channel, up and coming, great stuff over there. Go check him out. I respect all his work. And, I heard Brian Enton saying earlier, speaking about Michael McKee's attorney, this is a top-notch attorney. This is a big dog. This is a big-time, high-level attorney that he has. And I'm not going to say my fear, because I'd love to see him go in there and get messed up. Screw this guy. But if you're asking me where this could go wrong for him, if he wants to make it and have a chance.
Now, listen, it doesn't even matter if you do those things nowadays. It matters, but it's almost like it doesn't. Why it says then everyone needs psych evals. Cops get psych evals, by the way, but they don't do them properly. Look at what happened with Sonia Massey. They knew Sean Grayson was extra. He was extra, we'll say, harsh on people of color. They knew he was racist. They knew that he went in and did the wrong thing to Sonia Massey. And on body cam, they didn't back him, but later they did. All right. They should never have people like that, but they do. Right. Let's see. The saddest thing to worry about, when he did a lot worse to her, both the scalp. Now, listen, the ants needed a place to live. Sarah Boone would have already been out. She'd maybe have another 2 years had she taken the plea deal. Now she's never getting out. Right. That's the funniest thing to me. And Sean Grayson, he has stage 4 colon cancer and he's serving 20 years. Is he ever going to get out? And what is this monster, Michael McKee, going to look like when we see him in a couple of months after being in jail and not being in isolation?
You're going to have so much confidence in this high-level attorney and this big shot that you got. You got so much confidence that you don't prepare. You don't make preparations. And it's very easy to get into that mindset back there, because when you imagine yourself in that situation, even though he's a monster, you get back there and
true.
Who would just accept, okay, I'm done. I'm finished. My life is ruined. I think the human body and the human spirit, the human mind, you tap into these deep levels that just refuse, it's like a survival thing, and you refuse to allow yourself to believe that it's really over and that there has to be, something has to give. Something has to work out for me. I am going to get out of this, and it will work out, and this is scary, but.
Well, I would imagine people that are psychopaths and have the biggest egos. And I mean, this guy spent 15 years trying to get the job that he always wanted to. And then he got lawsuits. He killed a patient right before. He's running from the civil case. He looks so different from his other picture. Got that moon face. Say it, CB for the drugs and alcohol. Yeah, I can't wait to see what he looks like. That cop was her devil. Rest in peace, Sonia Massey. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. All right, let's keep going. I'm glad it's not glitching anymore. I hope it's not.
I just know it. Like, this isn't, it's such a scary reality, even for a guy like him. It's such a scary reality to come to grips with. You almost go into denial. You are in denial. This can't happen. This can't be what happens. And so you start to really buy into, oh, well, especially you have a top-notch lawyer. I'm going to make it out of this. I'm good. I'm not going anywhere. And so because of that, you spend a year to 2 years wasting time, not preparing to go to prison. Buddy, you're 6 foot, 200 pounds. You could start cranking out push-ups. Man, I don't do them anymore. I wish I had, but they messed my elbows up, honestly. I got bursitis in my elbows from all this. I used to do.
Yeah, but you ladies that like Jumpsuit Pablo, he likes himself and he finds himself pretty as well. Have you seen him on his channel? He's now that he lost weight and he's working out, he likes to walk around without a shirt, and they fixed his teeth. He has beautiful teeth now. All right, rats, not ants. Well, Sarah Boone, I saw a video where it says the ants are eating my hair. Grayson should ship out on Tuesday or Thursday for Doc. Thank you, Panda Ann. I appreciate that.
400 push-ups every other day. I used to do 250 pull-ups just throughout the day, not all at once. On those opposite days, I used to do squats. I was in there. That's what you need to be doing, buddy. You need to be getting right. You need to be sharpening your mind. You need to start observing. You need to start, if you want to survive. And I hope you don't. But that's from an information standpoint. There's that. Him having this hotshot attorney, oh, man.
What do you mean by that, Lucky? There's so much evidence against him. He's not going to go for an insanity plea. He's just a weirdo, right? This guy is a vascular surgeon. No jury's ever going to buy that he drove 5 hours. It was a 5 hour and something drive. Took him 7 hours there and back, and he was at the house stalking them previously. No one in their right mind will believe anything about that. But let's see if he runs out of money. Remember, that happens. You run out of money. You try to hire someone. Look at Corey Richens. Corey Richens had a bulldog of an attorney, and then she messed her up by trying to get teeth whitening strips and blaming her. And now she's stuck with whoever they appointed to her. So let's see what happens. I don't think they'll use anything else. I don't think he is. Oh, they've got the shell casings. They've got I believe they have the weapon too. They actually have the weapon. They know there's a silencer. They charge him for that. And yeah, it's premeditated. There's that. Thank you, Rebecca. Please do binge watch. I have so many playlists to go through. All right.
He's got one of the best attorneys, granted. And that's, we don't like that. We don't want someone who may be skilled enough to get him a not guilty verdict or some form of sentencing or verdict to where maybe you are guilty, but it's nowhere, it's nowhere near what you should get. I know we're afraid of that. But also that could. But
you got to remember, he also has a civil suit. They're suing him for the death of I don't know how many patients or what, but a penthouse on Lake Michigan, it's going to dry up real fast. Tell you that. Yes, they have it all, but BX of that. Wonder what the hell they can use to defend him. That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think about that for a minute, Lucky. What his defense is going to be.
Aid in filling his head up to where he's like, I'm good. And so you don't even, he doesn't even prep the way he should. And Brian Koberger didn't. And now look at him. He's the clown of the prison. Now let's move into the gangs, because let me tell you something. Out of all the state prison systems, Ohio, they're certainly not number one, but man, they are up there with gang presence. They are riddled with gangs. There are actual reports that have been done. 1 in 5 gang members, 1 in 5 inmates is a gang member. And there's not just 2 or 3 gangs and everyone just picks 1 or 3. There are like 10, 15 gangs. You got white supremacist gangs, you got the Aryan Brotherhood, and then you have
white supremacy is not going to want him. But you know what? A lot of channels are talking about what his potential defense might be. So that's a good question, Lucky. I can say that he's already pled not guilty. All right. His attorneys have not publicly outlined a full defense story, but legal analysts and former prosecutors have been talking about it. And there's some likely legal strategies. You got to remember, he doesn't have to say a word. All he has to do is sit there while prosecution does their thing. They're the ones that have the burden to make him look guilty, right? To get a guilty verdict. His attorney's probably gonna challenge the surveillance and video evidence and say that wasn't him. All right. They're gonna argue that the figure in the footage cannot be conclusively identified to McKee. Attack chain of custody, timestamps, interpretation. They're gonna say movement patterns. They'll say is not him. They're also going to attack the ballistics, guys. Every time you have ballistics introduced, you got forensic specialists talking about the ballistics, and they say the complete opposite of what the other one does. So they're going to challenge the reliability of the markings and the ballistics, all right? They're going to do their own forensic testing, and they might suppress or limit damaging prior bad acts or evidence, file motions to exclude statements, argue they're prejudicial. All right. They're going to challenge the witnesses, challenge the digital evidence, the cell phone, the vehicle, because he didn't have his phone with him. And they're going to say that they have insufficient direct evidence to absolutely convict him. All right. So there's a lot. I mean, he waived his bail hearing. There could be an alternate suspect that he says. So many things. There's so many possibilities, guys. That's a good question. He's going to say it's not him.
A lot of branch offs of just, kind of sub gangs of all under the white supremacist category. And they're no joke. They're dangerous. They're deadly. They mean business. Okay. And they're serious. And there's a few ways that this could go with Michael McKee in regards to this gang. And I'm going to explain them to you. And this is just my own knowledge. I've actually been locked up in South Carolina with several people who they committed crimes in several states. And so they were from Ohio. They served a lot of time in Ohio. They got done with that time and then they got extradited to South Carolina. And I've just, we've talked a lot about that experience. And then also I do have an Ohio inmate right now who is in one of the prisons.
And this is what we're specifically talking about is Ohio. I know we've been here for 2 hours and 16 minutes, and some people rolled in late. Others are just here chilling. You guys got through the worst of the worst. Let's continue. Let's finish up his video. He has a lot to say, and now we're going specifically to the Ohio system. Every time I touch my computer like that, I put something on it, the camera goes out. So please don't do that. Please. And Carly says, hit that like button. All right. Carly is the woman.
Not jail, but he's in one of the state prisons who I've consulted with and just ran a lot of stuff by and got his opinion on things. So all that is based on this, and then we'll wrap it up. But here's the most important thing, and this is about the gangs. Clearly, if a gang was to approach him, it's going to be one that falls under the white supremacist umbrella, probably that area in Brotherhoods. They're kind of the most dominant. They're going to approach him, and the way that they approach him and how that approach.
Everybody say happy birthday to Nana Rocks. It's her 67th birthday, guys. Happy birthday. Woo! Happy birthday to you. That's all you get. Everyone else will tell you happy birthday. I cannot sing, and I'm not going to botch this, all right? But we all wish you the best day ever. Thank you. All right, let's keep going.
Approach goes. I'll tell you now, that is a unpredictable variable. And that all depends on everything I've just explained prior to this. His mindset. Who is he when and if he enters state prison? Because the difference between county jail, that county jail is like it's a pop quiz. State prison is buddy, it's the real world. Your new world. And when you get there, you're not with, John, who I got caught stealing, a pair of shoes from the mall and 3 weeks later I'm getting out. Oh, I stole a car. I'm going to be in here about 4 months, and then I'm going home. And oh, I got caught with a little bit of drugs. I'm sitting in here for like 8 months, and then I'm probably getting probation. Everyone in there is in there for a long time, and they've probably already been there a long time.
And many of them have absolutely nothing to lose. You're the best. You're the birthday girl. Happy birthday. We love you over here on Guilty of Crime. You know it. You've been here with us for a long, long time. And everybody in chat is saying happy birthday to you. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. All right. That's so awesome. I love birthdays over here. I just love birthdays. You guys know already. We do we also do pop quizzes, so stay tuned. But I celebrate birthday month. So you go, girl. Happy birthday. I hope you're doing something awesome today. Aw, mwah. Big hugs to you. Do we get to meet you in Vegas? CrimeCon 2026? Everybody says happy birthday, love. All right, let's keep going.
And they are cold, disconnected, experienced, violent. They've seen things, they're traumatized, and it's just turned them into just, I don't even have the word for what it does to you. Turned them to stone. And he's not that yet. And so it really depends on how much he prepares to go to prison. And if he doesn't prepare at all, he doesn't have any chance. And I'll tell you how he could have a chance.
And he is not preparing. I guarantee you nobody is in there coaching him. And one thing I have to say about being coached when you have family on the outside, not only do you feel like you have that support, and it doesn't matter if it's the worst or the worst, you got to be prepared. And I got to say, Deb, I adore you. And it doesn't matter what Stephen Stearns did, should never reflect on you giving birth to him or any of that, right? But you and Chris have told him all these things. And again, you've been in the military. Chris has been in law enforcement, right? You're telling him all the things that Pablo's saying, and nobody's telling Dr. McKee. All right. And Carly, I wouldn't last a day in prison either, unless I walked in and said, hey girl, give me that pen over there and a battery, and I would just start tatting mother truckers up. Then I'd be eating real good. I'd be having cup of noodles every day. All right. Unforgivable sins. He's a surgeon. He is not prepared for prison. Absolutely not. All right, let's keep going.
Scenario. He does prepare. He does work out. Because it's not cliche. You got to understand that what he allegedly committed these murders with a gun. That means you pulled your pointer finger back an inch, and this mechanism operated and took lives. That is very, very, very different than, there's no guns in prison. Very, very different from hands-on, taking lives with your bare hands up close and personal.
Oh, but I've seen weapons being made in there that emulate a GUN. So let's think about that for a minute, right? I'd cry too, girl. I'd cry too. We don't want any of that. Heather says Jay is like one of the girls in Orange is the New Black, but I've never been in trouble or arrested or any of that. I just look like it. But if you look at me actually, and you look at my tattoos, you realize that they came from a good tattoo shop. Look at that, freaking says mom on it. All right. How hardcore am I when my whole dang arm says mom? I should have just put mommy. I'm a mama's girl. All right. But I would act tough. I'd do this. Take my mugshot. You want me on the side? All right. I'm tough. Let's go. Yeah, man. I'd be psycho crazy guy in prison. I'd be faking it. Pull out your Bible, buddy.
Physical capabilities, violent capabilities, experience in having physical up-close violent altercations, which I doubt he has a lot of. Thank you. And then also just the physical stats come into play. 200 pounds, 6 foot tall. I mean, he's not going to get any taller. So he's going to be 6 foot. Fair height. 200 pounds. He got some size on him. I don't think it's...
he's got some size on him.
I don't think it's the best frame. I mean, from what I've seen, he looks like a, just a wad of chewed bubble gum, but he's still 200 pounds. And he could turn it into something maneuverable if he tried. that'll at least give him a look. And people will at least, okay, this guy, he took a life. He took 2 lives. If he goes to prison and he's found guilty, he took 2 lives. He did it with a gun, but he does have the capability of taking a life. And that is a different mindset that you have. And it's not a crime of passion. You know, this guy would have had.
Thank you so much, Cool and Chris. I wish you were going to be in Vegas with us. I hope a bunch of you come to Vegas. Thank you. I appreciate it more than you know. Right? My nephew was a guard at one of the male prisons. God, it was wow, depending on how you turn your arm. It says wow. Yeah, I guess it does say wow, doesn't it? If I turn my arm upside down, but I don't think anyone's reading my arm that way. So it could be wow. Wow, I'm so tough. I've got mom tattooed on me. I'm not meant for jail either. Unlike trouble, me either. No way, no how, my friends.
To plot and plan and you know, map this out for quite a while. This wasn't a heat of the moment thing. And so,
bubble gum.
You know, that's going to be taken into account. This guy might want to get revenge on you, or he might not like you and want to do something to you, and he will take his time, and he will wait for what he thinks is an opportune moment. So you might have to watch him. He does have the capacity. He does have the stomach to take a life. Now, also, he may have the stomach to take a life, but he might not have the physical, hands-on capability that is required in prison to take that life, even if.
Well, that's the thing, guys. The fact that he used a 9mm in the way that he did to disfigure Monique, and then how many times he shot Spencer. He's a big old nasty, disgusting piece of trash. He can't do anything with his hands. All right. That's what that tells you. And thank you, Heather. We're going to definitely, I cannot wait to meet up in Vegas, guys. We're going to make sure we take pictures so that Cool and Chris doesn't miss the party. We're also having a party too. Unforgivable Sins. Are you coming to Vegas? All right, let's keep going. I cannot wait, guys.
You would and want to. That's a big deal, y'all. You gotta think about that.
Yes. Are you coming to Vegas?
Sounds, again, very cold and methodical, but that's how it is in there. And that's what people are looking at. Are you dangerous or a threat to me?
Yeah.
Why? I need information. And they're going to get all this information about you, who you are, how big you are, how big you're.
Now, listen, guys, I have not got my tickets for CrimeCon yet, only because I applied to have a table as an up-and-coming YouTuber. I'm over 6 million views now, and then weekly, 60,000 a week? I don't know. I have a pretty good statistics, and I have a good chance of getting a table at CrimeCon, but if I don't, then yeah, I'll need tickets for sure. Yes, he needs a ticket for CrimeCon. Yeah, I need one, and Mrs. Guilty needs one. What happens in Vegas may not stay in Vegas this time, my friend. We'll see. All right.
You're not, how strong you are, how weak you are. What crime is it? Oh, murder. How'd you do it? In what way? What links are you willing to go to? What do you know? They're going to take all that into consideration. He could show up with a very dialed in mindset, ready for the worst, expecting violence, prepared to go into it and give it his best. And here's another thing in prison that you guys got to understand. This ain't high school. You know, 2 guys meet in the locker room or the bathroom and they fight and one of them gets beat up. Oh, Joey got beat up. He's such a loser. Haha. Well, you know,
that's what's going to happen here. And Unforgivable Sins you're with us in spirit. I promise to post a bunch of pictures. All right. We love you and we won't forget about you. Vegas, baby. Anyone that can go, let's go.
But everybody makes fun of him. Oh yeah, you're the guy who got beat up until, you know, a few more fights happen and everyone forgets about it, right? It ain't like high school. It's not like that anymore. Mm-hmm. You get respect for standing up and fighting, and you could have the most awful butt whooping anyone's ever seen in their life. But if you stood there and you squared up and you went toe to toe and you got beat down badly, and then you took that beat down and you got up and you went about your day and you didn't snitch, you didn't cry, you didn't tell on this guy, you didn't ask for protection, you get respect. Win, lose, or draw, you get respect for that. That's a very different, that's how it works in prison.
Now listen, in prison, people are the worst of the worst, and they see through the bullshit. And that's why, in my opinion, like Wade Wilson, for example, is a massive poser and he tattooed his face because he wanted to seem like a tough guy. But then when he got into prison, we saw him laughing and giggling and playing different girls. Nothing about his homies, right? We've heard a couple things about him, but those people don't like his ugly mug. I'll tell you right now, people see fake people, period. If you find somebody real, hold on to them, because people are not like that anymore. They take on other people's personalities and they're not themselves. And we can spot them from a mile away. And I guarantee you, in prison, they're also going to. Right? He looks stupid. He's going to look a lot more stupid real soon.
In jail. Okay. They know you will stand up even when you know you're going to lose, and you will take that loss because it's about respect. And so if I want to pick on somebody and extort somebody and harass somebody and apply pressure to somebody and try to shove somebody around and give them a hard time, maybe I'll go for the guy who I know they have a track record of just folding and submitting, and I don't want any problems, and I'm not even going to put up a fight. All right, here you go. I'll do whatever you say. You're going to do that instead of like, okay, I know if I go to this guy and try to do that, like I could probably beat him up. I would win. But it's kind of just like I have to do that. I have to go through the process physically of doing that. And that deters a lot of violence. It really does. If you had 10 people of all shapes and sizes come up to you and try to bully you in prison, and you fought every one of them and you lost every one of those fights, it would deter a huge amount of attempts and violence and bullying.
Guys, that's how high school was. I don't know about you guys, but junior high and high school, you guys, I'm telling you, I have resting bitch face, because when I was in junior high and high school, and Mama Pearl can vouch for it, I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't doing shit. I got really good grades in school. I did my homework. I was a nerd, right? But I had a lot of friends. Girls would just want to fight me. They'd say, "Did you look at me wrong? Why are you looking at me like that?" And I'd get punched. And every time they punched me, trust me, they regretted it. But they did call my mom and say, you got to pick up your daughter. She just got into a fight. That happened so much in high school. Did anyone else have that experience? And it was all just because my face looks like this. Because I didn't always smile. Like, I smile now, but back then I'm just resting bitch face. These girls just always wanted to fight me. Yeah, the lesbians love you, Synth. You're unattainable.
Other than if you were a guy who was just like, oh, I don't want to fight, man. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. I don't even want to fight. Everybody's going to be coming and doing that to you now because, oh, man, it's easy.
I don't want to
take 2 seconds. See, I don't even got to fight him. I don't even got to swell my knuckles up. He's just going to give it to me. Why wouldn't I go and do it? I hope this makes sense and doesn't sound like I'm just getting all over the place on topics. I'm explaining this is why what he does and the mindset he starts to build.
Yeah, this is a long one, and I've been hanging out with y'all. I missed you this weekend. I was sick on Monday. I'm still getting over it, but I enjoy you guys, and I didn't get good time with you yesterday. Bree says, yes, I got suspended so many times. Me too. My poor mom. I'm sorry. I have resting bitch face and a huge personality. I'm abrasive, but I love with my whole heart. Well, thank you. That's good to hear. It's rare nowadays. It paid off for you, Jay. Well, thank you. I just went with it. Yeah, she was 4.0 student, and I told her if somebody hits you, you hit them back. And they always hit me. They thought I was playing. They thought, oh, she's only 4'11". She ain't going to do anything. Well, guys, big things come in small packages. That's all I got to say. Maggie, how did your doctor's appointment go? Please tell me it's good news.
And the physical shape he starts to build now matters. And yes, muscles don't mean you can fight. But again, at least he'll have the stature. He's got some size. This is like building a resume. Okay. I like that. This is like building a resume for prison gangs. I'm 6 foot. I'm pretty tall. I'm 200, maybe more pounds, pretty big. And I've been doing push-ups. So this 200 pounds looks a little bit capable. I'm also in here for murders. Multiple murders. I have the stomach to murder.
Yep.
I'm already trying to look tough in my picture, so apparently I care about having a tough image. And, he might be open to the idea of joining a gang. Once this becomes your new reality and you realize that you're doomed and you're stuck here and that hope of you getting out and going back to your life as a surgeon and just having some type of normal life is gone, you'd be surprised at what you're ready to dive into and dip your toes into and be a part of. a whole new identity you're ready to wrap yourself in.
Well, there's another thing. I also went to Oakdale High School, right? I think my mom threw a dart at a map in California, and we landed on Oakdale. Oakdale is the cowboy capital of the world. Do I look like I fit in with the cowgirls? No, sirree, Bob. I sure don't. I shit you not. My first job, and I was so proud of it. My first job, I went and got on my own. Of course, Mama Pearl bought me a car. I got a job at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I was so proud of myself. I come out from my shift, and I have flat tires, not flat tires from the bottom, but stab marks on the side. And then on my window, they left a note that said KKK, bitch. That's the end of my story. All right, let's continue. Just saying.
He could build a resume to these gangs and see what could happen is they'd be like, okay, you're a killer. You're pretty big. You're pretty stout. You have no hope in life. You wouldn't believe what it does to your mind once you realize you're stuck here forever and there's no hope. You become very dangerous. I always say, I don't care. The best fighter, the strongest guy, the biggest guy, the meanest looking guy. They'll never be more dangerous than just your average looking guy who is doing a life sentence and will never get out. It changes you. It does something.
I actually love country, number one, because my mom always listened to country when I was little, and we would sing country songs while we were driving in the car. And then I met Mrs. Guilty 20 years ago, and Mrs. Guilty loves country. And so we went to a bunch of country concerts, Rascal Flatts, Luke Bryan, any concert you could think of. Have you ever been to a country concert, ladies or gentlemen? There's always eye candy. Just saying. Let's continue.
To you, and it makes you incredibly reckless and violent, and you don't care, and you will do extreme things. And gangs know this, and they will utilize this, and they will use you, and they will get you to carry things out. And because they know you'll carry things out, you'll carry them out, and you'll do that a few times, and other people will learn and realize what a threat you can be. And so just your presence in that cell block, knowing that you're with this gang, brings that gang a lot of respect and a lot of power. And you don't even have to demonstrate it anymore because you've demonstrated it a few times and people know. And so it keeps people in line when you're there. And because it keeps people in line when you're there and it brings so much order and power to these gangs, they treat you well. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to hustle and get your own money. You're here, you're a force, and you cause good things for us in the gang world. And so we're going to take care of you. Hungry? You need some food? Oh, you want to get high? You want some drugs? Or you want to use this?
See, that's the problem. If somebody doesn't prepare for that, AKA this doctor, which again, he may slide through after they realize that he's got a little bit of knowledge about how to put some ingredients together and make XYZ. Or maybe they need whatever. Mab says $1.35 an hour. Gas was 99 cents back then. And my first minimum wage job was $4.25 an hour at KFC. Ding, ding, ding. You're right, Synth. You said that too. You saw George Strait. It was fabulous. Oh my God. We saw Brooks and Dunn, their final farewell concert. And then like 2 years later, they came back and did it again. They don't like each other, but they did it again. Crime Con is May 29th through the 31st of 2026. All right. Let's keep going. I'd love to see if I get there. Yes. And we're having a party. Patricia NYC is throwing a party for us at the Bellagio. So you're going to want to be there. All right, let's continue. Let's finish up.
Cell phone. Oh, you want to do this? You want to do that? Oh, yeah. And they're going to treat you real good. They're going to love you. And you're going to live a good life. And that's what comes with being in a gang. That's the way it could go good. It could go bad if he doesn't do anything and the opposite of this happens and he goes in there and he's scared and he won't stand up for himself and he didn't try to toughen himself up and get his mindset right and prepare for this hell on earth he's going to and try to get a little strength and conditioning going and do a little bit of training and just prepare for what his role may have to be. And I mean, how would he even know what his role has to be? Because he's never been there. Who's going to come in and lecture him?
And he only went to the psych ward portion of it, which I talked about earlier. The McKee will know how to snitch himself if he gets shanked. He'll know how to stitch himself. He's going to be like this. Hey, can you hand me some of that Oh man, I'm going to Vegas. I think we're all going to Vegas. Everybody's invited. All right, let's wrap this up. I can't believe Pablo has so much to say on this one. It's pretty funny.
Like I'm doing on this video, and let him know that that was your best course of action if you want to survive. And it's not off to a good start with this silly little mugshot he's doing.
15 cents a
And
pound.
this little tough face he's making it every time we see him in court or any mugshot. It's not off to a good start, But these things take time to learn. When you enter an entirely foreign, different world where all the rules are different, it does take time to adjust and learn.
Yeah.
Whether he will or he won't, I don't know. And we'll see as time goes on. But if he doesn't, I'll tell you this. Gangs don't have a reason to outwardly go after him. That would have to be something about, oh, well, it's his charges. And the only way it would be his charges is if he did something violent and sexual to a child, which he did not. So they do not care about his charges. There's no immediate incentive to go after him. I don't know. I tried to look into what his finances are because that's important too. His finances. He's a surgeon, average Joe like me.
Lucky.
When I hear you're a surgeon, I'm thinking, oh, you're making good money. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I know I've done a little research. I know there's some confusion and discrepancies on his certifications and kind of where he was at with all that and his, surgeon and doctor, just medical career. I know he was living in an apartment. That's his listed address is an apartment. Nothing wrong with living in an apartment, but you wouldn't normally think if you're an esteemed, successful, just on top of the world surgeon, might not be living in an apartment. Again, no, hey, I rent this house. I don't own any property. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, come on, surgeon. What's up? And so that was a little odd to me. But then I also see he's got one of the best, top-notch, esteemed defense lawyers.
Do you guys think she's going to go pro bono if he runs out of money? Just asking for a friend.
Who is known for getting criminals off of serious charges. And that don't come cheap. And so, there's that. And so, I don't know what kind of money this guy has. I'll be honest with you. But I'll tell you what, it's going to make a big difference whether he has it or doesn't. Now, again, whether he has it or does not, I'm sure even if he has some good money, it's not to the extent where if you're serving a 20, 25, 30-year life sentence or death penalty, it's not going to last that long. Now you can't work anymore and that money will run out. And trust me, everything is triple to 5 times.
And that's what I'm trying to say about McKee. He's a loner, guys. He's a loner. He doesn't have kids that we know of. We haven't heard of family members coming and sticking up for him. He's just like this lone wolf that studied and went to school and did everything and got obsessed with this one woman and just couldn't let it go. I can't comprehend even the type of person that he is, right?
The price in prison if you want any type of luxuries or special things. And even if you're going to pay protection, which that's an option for him too. And that is something, if he's not looking to be a benefit in any other way, physically, or just, as a hitman, an enforcer, that's an actual role in these gangs, an enforcer. I enforce, I keep people in line violently. If he's not going to fall into that role, then you can still benefit off of him. He's going to be a cash cow. And it don't take a lot of cash to keep somebody important happy. And you find an important guy in there and it's like, I'll give you $50 a week in snacks and I'll just be a guy who keeps you fed. Okay, cool. Nobody touch this guy. Nobody mess with this guy. This is my dinner. This is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner for, every week for every month for however many years. And this is a gang member who's got the influence wherever he's at to say that and make that decision. And he will not be messed with. That's an option.
It's going to be an option for sure, unless he's able to get himself at all times by himself. But he's going to get tired of that too. Maybe he's going to be, he's too selfish. Never mind. Let's continue.
One thing is that will eventually run out.
Why is that?
And so if he is able to do that, well, then however long that money's going to last you in that format, you got that long to learn another way of surviving and being beneficial and just fitting in and being useful in prison. Because if there's one takeaway I have from prison, you're either useful to somebody or you're useless to everybody.
Amen, brother.
You're useful to somebody or you're useless to everybody. And when you're useless to everybody, nobody cares what happens to you. Awful things that kind of are, even in prison, believe it or not, there's some things that people do to people and it's kind of looked down upon. And, you might have a group of people come together in the cell block because it is a community. And
all right, you guys can go finish. He rambles. I was going to quit this back at the 22-minute mark because after 22 minutes, he just kind of chopping it up like I'm doing with you guys. And I know I enjoy hanging out with you guys as well. But, like I said, Tepe murders explained. Autopsy findings for me are shocking because it was the complete opposite when I started this case. Affidavit details. Wow, that's how we really know that he was stalking and a threat to Monique and Spencer, even all this time, right? So that's what we learned today, and what Dr. McKee's prison future will be. Is this woman going to be his savior? Now, again, she's death penalty qualified. I have not seen anything yet that says they're going to charge him with the death penalty, but really we want justice for the Tepes. And when I say the Tepes, meaning them, the family, the children, even the dog, anybody that's connected to them are their victims. All right. You guys are having way too much fun telling stories today. Clar, I love that. George Strait's awesome. And thank you, by the way, if I didn't say that. All right. Before we head out, let me just show you this quickly. I'm going to show you the Crime Con. Come party with us. And then the buy me a coffee. And then I'm out of here, guys. Throw away the key, baby. Yes, prayers and justice for the Tepes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love hardworking folks. Yeah, don't we all? Your first job was a drug coalition. I was 13 going on 14. Well, you've been working ever since, Mom. Ever since. All right. I'm going to show you the flyer that Patricia made, and then I'll show you the buy me a coffee thing, just so you know. All right, so there it is. Welcome to Crime Con. Look at that. Patricia made that. Welcome to Crime Con dinner for the Guilty of Crime crew, hosted by Patricia F. or Patricia NYC. Friday, May 29th, 6:30 p.m. till whenever the wheels fall off. Bellagio Hotel, Las Vegas, buffet dinner, open bar, DJ. I mean, what more could you want there, right? You may bring a guest, and then you've got a RSVP, and we'll put that out there. It's Mrs. Ferrillo at Gmail. We're just getting started, so I didn't put all this out there yet. But if you guys do come, it's going to be so awesome to meet every single person that comes. That's awesome. You're so awesome, Patricia. All right, there's that. And then I'm just going to share this real quick. And the supporters, I appreciate y'all so very much. I'm just leaving until it gets closer to Vegas. I've had a buy me a coffee for a long time, but I never put it out there. So it's buymeacoffee.com/guilty of crime. And the passion that drives me is true crime. You guys know that. And I'm specifically putting this out there so that I can, come hell or high water, go to Vegas. So I have some supporters. I have 8 supporters right now. I've got Kathy, Colleen, Indy, Deb, Renee, Midnight Lace, Braddy, Shelly, Cool and Chris is up here somewhere. It hasn't posted, but thank you guys. This is what I'm doing. Maybe it gives you guys a good idea to get your butts over there. You guys can make yourself a buy me a coffee as well and get yourself right. Oh, Colleen, I'm sorry. Cool and Chris, that's Colleen. So thank you. Thank you to you, Colleen, and everybody else. I get confused sometimes. All right. And you say, can we just come to dinner or not? Julie, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, just come. You don't have to go to Crime Con. If you guys don't want to go to Crime Con, just come out and meet us. Come out and meet us, have a drink, hang out, do your thing. Lucky says, I'd fly down just for that. See? There you go. We're going to have a blast, guys. It doesn't matter where we are. That's why Mama Pearl likes hanging out with the Scott family. Her last name is not Scott, but we do things right. All right. So we love Mama Pearl. Mama Pearl's going to be there. The whole family. All right. That being said, we've been here for almost 3 hours. Clar, you said you stayed at the Bellagio for a week on your 50th. How did you not get bored? You must have been gambling like a mofo, because when I'm in Vegas for more than 3 days, I'm ready to go home. The tattoo shops are dirty, and the town is just filled with greedy people. But it is fun to hang out there and just let loose. Patricia, I like being here with the crew. Are you coming? Yeah. Oh, you'll be on the Key West? All right. Get the party started. I can't believe people are still afraid to fly nowadays. All right. Good night, Cool and Chris, Patricia, Deb. Oh, yeah. Everybody here that supported the channel today. Thank you so very much. I will be back. Oh, Carly's still there. Julie said she'd love to join. Woohoo. Carly says it's hard to get bored when you're either drunk or hungover, sleeping. That's true. Very true. I don't get hungover or drunk anymore, so. And I don't get in fights anymore. I'm 46 years old. When I was talking about fights in junior high, it was 12, 13, and 14 in high school, and then nothing after that. Yeah, don't carry a purse. Get all the rules. So Lucky, we're gonna put all the details out soon, so you can email me at Guilty of Crime, and I'll keep you posted. I haven't put it out there yet. I haven't put all of it out there, but just go to my Guilty of Crime down there, guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com, and we'll be more formal about it. All right, guys. I love you so much. So good to see you. Welcome, Mama Pearl, to the Crime Crew mod family. Soon she will be in the green. I have to prime my liver to get ready. Don't worry, I'll hold you up, Carly, if you fall down. I'd love to go, but yeah, I would say that. You'll be there in spirit, though. All right, guys, Husky Lover, Mo, and everybody else, love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Say a prayer that the Tepes get complete justice that they deserve, and that the monster McKee does not get some bullshit deal. Right? On that note, I'm out. Love you guys. I'm going to go eat. Mwah. See you guys mañana. Good night.
Guilty of Crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of Crime.
Are you guilty?